keep doing
I should
that
probably
lately.
open. Oh wait, did anyone make the?
No,
I
I
did.
didn't.
I
Oh,
did.
Cal. Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Send
can you
me.
share that with me, dog?
I did. I did. I did.
No one said
don't-
live. I don't think.
Trying to strike a chord, and it's probably a minor.
Hey.
Is that like a musical joke or something?
It is.
Yeah, it is a musical joke. Cal knows.
Oh, good.
Cal knows.
I'm not smart enough
It's a
to know.
musical joke.
No, it's from the Drake Kendrick beef.
Oh my god, what does that sound? Okay.
All right,
You're not live, dude.
we should be live.
Are you sure?
I'm not seeing anything.
I don't see anything.
I'm
Wait,
not seeing
I'm
enough
refreshing.
movement.
We're good. Yeah, we're live.
Are you sure?
I guess so.
I'm
yeah.
positive I refreshed it. You had to
Okay.
refresh it.
Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. It's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to another episode of Talking Yu-Gi-Oh! Crazy 8's. This is episodes 108 and 109, Contacting an Old Friend. Want to thank all you guys for joining us. Of course, we are remote, very clearly. The reason for that is mainly because of me. I am not feeling well. And if I'm not feeling 100%, I don't want to risk, getting anyone else sick if I do have some sort of cold or something contagious. So, listen, we're going to play it safe. Sadly, this podcast, next year around this time is going to be mostly remote. So, you viewers of this podcast will have to get used to the remote setup, as will we. And, of course, I'll invest more into making the remote setup look more, physically attractive and appealing to you guys. But I do appreciate all of you guys tuning in. And I do want to thank Caliber, Nick T, and Dredge for joining. Boys, what's going on? How you feeling tonight?
Fantastic.
Doing
Good.
pretty good, man. How are you?
I've been better. Dredge, how you doing, man?
I'm on edge, but I'm good otherwise.
So we are starting an hour early. Some might be wondering, why are we starting at 7 and not 8 on the East Coast? Dredger and Calibro are very, very big New York Rangers fans. Their first game of the Eastern Conference Finals is tonight at 8 o'clock.
Let's go Rangers!
So wanted to start early so that, we can finish before the game, ends, ideally like between the first and second period. So that was the reason why we decided to start early. But man, there is a crazy amount to talk about. Also, we are expecting Pete to join us at 7:30 if he's able to make it, so keep an eye out for that. There is a crazy, crazy amount to get to. Not only do we have to cover 2 episodes, but 109 was one of the more jam-packed episodes we've had of the show and definitely of the season. A lot of questions. There's going to be a lot of theories. We're going to try our best to give you guys the answers that we're all, wondering about and talking about. And it's going to be overall a really, really fun time. Would any of you guys like to start us off with the with your thoughts on 108 and 109? Of course, we missed last week because I was away, as was Calibro, as was Pete. So we just missed last week entirely. So 2 episodes to cover. Would any of you guys like to start?
Why don't you start us off, bro?
Yeah,
All right.
I think you can start us off.
I'll start us off. All right.
Yeah, start us off, Dill.
Yeah, I'll start you off. Okay.
Excuse
Well, I thought these 2 episodes, especially 109, were definitely 2 of the stronger episodes this season. 109 certainly being the strongest episode. 108 did actually surprise me. I did not expect Manabu to get another victory. The character, I can't even remember his name because my brain is so...
It's like Fukumara.
Fukumara, thank you, yes. He was supposed to be kind of like a foil to Epoch, right, where he was like a shut-in, but didn't really... Well, I guess he had very similarly like an assertive personality, which, by the way, people that are actually like shut-ins and homebodies, I feel like they don't really have the personality types that Epoch or Fukumaru have in a lot of senses. I feel like they're usually a little bit more like reserved and shy and actually to themselves, but I do find it fascinating that the 2 kind of like shut-in characters that we've gotten are very abrasive and loud. Yes. And, that even at some point, I think it was Neanderstar who was like, he's really like the opposite personality that I would have thought he would have for being like someone who's like a shut-in and sealed away from the world. So I thought that was funny. Similar to what we've seen with Epoch. Liked his strategy a lot, but man, Really quickly again, before we get to 109, got to give Manabu his flowers. I was the only one who picked him against Epoch. He ended up winning. I think Caliber was the only one who picked him here against Fukumura, and he ended up winning. He is, you can say what you want about his character. I know a lot of people are not as high on his character and who he is as a person, even though this season I think he's definitely improved so far. But you cannot take away that he is one of the top duelists, and if you remove the main three from the show, Yuumu, Yuhi, and Udius, I mean, he's certainly in the conversation for best duelist in the show. I mean, I'd put Yugioh ahead of him, but, gotta give Manabu his flowers, right? He is a really, really good duelist, and so him pulling off another win, getting a second win this season, was surprising to me only for the fact that I thought this was a good chance to give the Dark Men their victory. They hadn't had one yet. They're going to lose their first 4. That is what it is. It's not that I hate that. I just thought we would have started building up this group to be threatening, but as 109 proved, the Fukumara did not need to win in 108, because after 109, this group is incredibly threatening and incredibly intimidating, led by the Dark Meister, who we finally get to meet, and that is the character that normally would be the biggest talking point and still might be the biggest talking point, but we can't just zone in on her and only her, because Yugioh inexplicably and inexplainably gets revived by the Dark Men, captured, brought to the Dark Meister, given his deck and duel disk back, only to lose to the Dark Meister in a duel, and then join the Dark Men under seemingly his own free will. Now, granted, I'm sure he's playing 4D chess here, and I'm sure there's an ulterior motive, but Yugioh is now part of this Dark Men group, and all of a sudden, a group that after 108 that looked very weak from a dueling perspective, right? 0-4, hadn't gotten a win, now looks incredibly strong with a character like the Dark Meister, potentially Yuumu as the cat. Some people theorize that Yuumu is the Dark Meister, and it's one character. And now Yugioh, as far as we know, fighting for the Dark Men. Of course, you could put an asterisk behind that sentence. But, man, these 2 episodes took me on a journey that I did not think, mainly 109, that I would never have guessed that we would go on. I am very, very happy with the direction of what had been a pretty slow start to the season. And yeah, I felt that once we got to the Yuumu and leader stuff, it would really rev up. I did not think they would sprinkle Yugioh into that formula, but you sprinkle Yugioh, and now that pot is just boiling over in the kitchen, and I can't wait to grab my spoon, dig in, and get to eating, and we're going to do that next week. Nick T, man, what did you think of these last 2 episodes? Were you as high as I am, or
I was. I loved both of them very much. I mean, first of all, I have to say, is there a growing pro-Manabu movement in America?
I'm with it.
Yeah, I mean, come on. His stocks are rising, and
yeah,
he's like really showing himself as a formidable duelist, as a formidable character. I liked 108 quite a bit. I did like the sort of juxtaposition, as you mentioned, with the shut-in, sort of reclusive characters, especially with both of them being pretty abrasive. But it's interesting because I think, to your point that about Epoch, I think it's not maybe the opposite of what a reclusive character would be like, because she was using that shut-in, the box, as a way to be abrasive, because she was so she had a sort of safety blanket, a protective layer, if you will. But as for Fukumara,
Yep, that sounds right.
That's about right. Yeah, he again, he's definitely the opposite of what he's trying to project.
yeah.
But I thought that episode, even though it didn't do a lot, as far as well, I guess, you know what, it did. As far as who are the Dark who is the Dark Empire, and who are these characters, it didn't do a ton, but it kind of threw more wrenches in the plot with the Mamu becoming 8 and then 1. So now that whole thing is all messed up. We have no idea where we're going with that, and I think that's awesome. I'm really intrigued in that subplot right now. and how that relates to
Yeah.
the Dark Empire, because it inevitably does. As for 109, I mean, off the charts for me. I loved this episode. Yeah, Yugioh being alive just changes everything. And I actually do have a crack theory about the Dark Meister right now.
As long as it's not as crazy as Dylan's, it's fine.
It never is, but so
It's true.
obviously there's probably some division as to is the cat Yugioh, because if you take the first and last letters out of the name and then reshuffle them, it's Yugioh.
Yes.
I think they're both Yugioh.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Definitely-
that's a
that's
common
not that
that's a
crazy.
pretty popular theory right now. Yep.
I think Yugioh is the cat projecting her consciousness into this, whoever the Dark Meister is. So I'm not convinced the Dark
Okay.
Meister actually exists outside of like Yuumu's consciousness.
Interesting. Yeah, we're definitely going to talk more about that specifically, because what I thought was fascinating is, Real Damage, which is cool, very reminiscent of
Yes.
like a Shadow game, right? A Yamino game. We're going like old school Yu-Gi-Oh here, like right, Dredge? Like that's kind of immediately where I went.
That's exactly what I thought as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like the fascinating thing is Yugioh, or the cat rather, is the one who was in discomfort
Taking
and
the
took
damage,
damage when dark. So that could be signs of a shared consciousness, or it could be signs that the Dark Meister is holding Yugioh against her will and is using her as like a shield in a sort of way.
Which is
No.
possible.
Which is possible, and that would be probably a very
That would
bad
be
sign
critical.
for
Pretty
Yugioh.
over.
Yuumu.
Yeah.
It'd be over.
It wouldn't be
Over.
good, but we'll talk about that a little later on. Generally speaking, Dredge, your thoughts on these last two episodes?
Generally speaking, I like the last minute of 108. That's about it of 108. That's all I got. I wasn't a fan of it. It wasn't for me. I felt myself very bored. I almost could figure out that Mon was going to win. So I'm trying to look at it from a perspective of not knowing what was going to happen 108, 109, not knowing the summaries, the spoilers. I was upset with 108, right? Because in my head, we had discussed the podcast recently. We thought the Dark Men needed a win. Now, again, looking at it right after after watching 109, totally get why 108 was the way that it was. Totally understand it. You didn't want to give them the win yet. You wanted the Dark Meister to come in and beat arguably Yugioh, other than the outside the top 30, your top three is the most strongest duelist. Like I get it now, but watching 108 separate of 109, it wasn't for me. It was the same. Oh my gosh, the same monster for the Dark Men. Which Enigmata. I'm bored of Enigmata. It's the same thing every time. Same
Sure.
style.
It's a
He
losing
also, again,
monster. The
yeah,
monster doesn't
and
win.
And
It
also,
doesn't win.
all four of those characters' gimmicks were just, other than I think it was the first one was okay. The rest, just mommy guy, cheers, cheers, cheers. And even this one, I just, now again, thank God for 109, because 109 was arguably a top 3 episode in this show. I think that's fair. I know we've had I've been reading the chat kind of, people are a little upset that Yugioh's back as soon as he is, but you can't deny when Yugioh is on that screen, he is the star of the show. No matter what he's doing, he's always playing 4D chess. The voice actor does a great job, portraying that character. So excited for Yugioh to be back. A throwback to GX as well. Contact Fusion. I remember watching that because I had watched a little before Dylan. You're watching along last night. I was watching, and I literally, you can ask Nicole. I go, no way. No, there's no, because it was such a cool thing, because that was a Neos thing. It was so sick to hear. Again, GX gets a lot of hate, but Contact Fusion is a very cool thing that it brought about. That wasn't something that was in DM, correct? That was a GX thing.
GX, you're correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's cool to get, GX does get some hate sometimes, so it's cool to see a little positive from GX come in. And then 109, I love the Dark Matter Dragon. Looks sick.
Yeah.
Just the way the Dark Meister says Dragon. Like it brings me back to Jack Atlas saying drag. Like all these, great Yu-Gi-Oh characters, the way that they say their ace monster. And also great effects. The Contact Fusion, just that overall was great. Other complaint about 108 that I almost forgot. We mentioned how they're both shut-ins, like the Epoch and I would have preferred if Epoch had that duel.
Oh, I agree. I agree with that. Yeah.
So,
What is that
again,
about?
yeah, I don't know why. And being the captain, Epoch chose Manabu for that moment. But in my head, I'm like, I would have rather, Epoch do. That's a duel for Epoch, right? Because Epoch great. What's the word I'm looking for? Like
Development?
words. Well, yeah, just great lines, not inside the duel. So that was a positive 108. I should say that Epoch in 108 talking about, But 109, oh my god, I could talk for the next 30 minutes if I really want to. There's so many great things about it. And what? And that's why we're so hyped about the show. Is we always knew it would get back to that high level that we've seen throughout. And 109 kind of just solidifies that. And now we're looking forward to next week, where I don't even know what's gonna happen. So exciting stuff.
Yeah, Yugioh, I had no issue with Yugioh being brought back.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he died, and they kept him dead through the end of the season, which I was happy about. But I said he would be back before the end of the second arc of this season. This is obviously the middle of the first arc, but I'm fine with it. There was no way that he was going to stay permadead. Yugioh never does. I mean, they rarely do permadeath. Like maybe Sergei in Arc 5. I'm sure there's, things that you can, pinpoint. But like Yugioh is a rival, and he is much like every single rival in Yu-Gi-Oh! When they are there and when their presence is there, it is so much better of a show. It just is.
You could argue that a lot of the Yu-Gi-Oh rivals steal the show from the Pro Tag. You could argue.
Well, the Pro Tag is the constant, right, Dredge? The Pro Tag is almost always there. They're almost always in the episodes, and the Pro Tags in Yu-Gi-Oh, you could argue, I think for the most part have been done very well. But the rival is like the Pro Tag, but like with just like a different energy about them, and because they're not as constant as the Pro Tag, it feels so much more intense a lot of the times when they're on the scene. And so you bring Yugioh back, and it's that exact addition that this season I think had been lacking. He's that character, and now all of a sudden, I felt 109 was the best episode of the season. I think a lot of people probably do.
Season? Oh my god. Of season 3?
Yeah, of season 3. And Yugioh's a big reason why that is. If Darkmeister rolled over Epoch, do we feel the same about one? I mean, we'd be praising Darkmeister, I'm sure, but
I don't know. I think you're not gonna. I mean, let's be real.
He's got a point,
I'm not. He does, but I'm not comparing. We're not comparing Epoch to Yugioh. Obviously,
no, you can't.
But with Epoch's development, I think if Darkmeister runs over anybody, like, because we just saw us win 4 in a row. We're up 4-0, right? So even if she beat anyone, it could have been Yuhi. It could have been, I mean, who else is there? It's Yuhi, Epoch, or
Neanderstar.
Even Neanderstar. But they've all won. So it's not like there was no duels who was like, oh man. And again, they're obviously no Udius, no Yuhi, but still, I agree though. The use of Yugioh there, they're trying to tell you this character can beat anybody. Like that's the argument they're trying to make already.
Yep.
I might also add that like even though they brought him back, I really like how they did it because it wasn't like Yugioh just showed up back on Earth or like on the spaceship and you're like, how did you get here? Like, he's in somewhere where you really have no idea where this is. Like, he, for all intents and purposes, is, like, in some kind of purgatory, like someplace that doesn't really exist out within the bounds of our universe. And I think that sort of is a meaningful distinction. Because he's not just, like, back in the universe, He's somewhere
he didn't just pop in.
There was also a scene, Nick T, where I think Darkmeister's talking to Yugioh about how he needs to, like, open up his mind to like figure out like the secrets or the questions or whatever, and Yugioh then like gets mentally teleported into this weird room, and it looks like a huge eye is like staring at him.
What was that?
I mean that there were so many little things like that in this episode that you can look at and be like, all right, well, is that just supposed to be like a metaphor for like, oh, like open your third eye and like discover like the true meaning behind something, or is that like actually like a creature or a person like stuck in this, what I mean? Like it's so fascinating to me. There were so many things like that.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Calibro, your general thoughts on 108 and 109.
I'll be quick because we've really gotten a lot of the detail out of the way.
Haters in there.
But I really liked 108. I know Dredge said he didn't really like it until the end, but I actually I enjoyed the episode. I think that it made sense why Epoch actually didn't duel, because like she's the leader, right? Even though she lost her duel to Manabu, so she knows Manabu is like her top duelist as her vice captain. So she's basically saying, all right, I'm in charge, so you go do this, and then you can earn like, the vice captain title. And he even says, when it comes to titles, I'm not losing this. Like he's power hungry. He wants that title.
Yeah. That's still deep down inside him. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, and I think, obviously summoning the maximum's cool, and then losing the maximum and then still being able to come back and win, I also thought was a pretty solid duel itself. And then, yes, the end, Dredge always excites you for what happens in 109, which is just, to me, like, I did not expect Yugioh to be coming back. So, like, that was really cool. Like you said, Dredge, like, we didn't read the summaries or anything.
Yeah, which
like,
was one of the times I'm very glad we didn't, because that was a very big shock in itself.
And, that duel, like you said, he's captivating on screen, even in a loss. Like, it's just... the episode I thought was amazing, best of the season easily. Mm-hmm. I think him going, like, kneeling before the Dark Meister is like he's trying to play her, I think, in that way. It seemed like he recognized the like the bandana the cat was wearing as like one of Yumu's bows. So to me, that's kind of the full sign of like, I need to join this group, even just to find out more about what's going on.
Yeah.
Because he's like, why in the world would, one, I just get brought back to life by these people, but also then this Panther is wearing Yumu's ribbon. There's like, he knows there's more to this. So even if he doesn't know what it is, I think he's 100% going in for information.
I have the photo up on the stream. I mean, it certainly looks like an eye. I can't really figure out what else that could be. So it's a giant eye just staring at him. It's a fascinating sequence. There were many fascinating sequences, right? Because him looking at the cat, he certainly has a reaction to the scarf. I'm going to play it just kind of on screen right now. He's looking at Dark Meister.
Is this allowed, by the way?
Yeah, we can play little excerpts, I'm sure.
Not even a little.
They have their stare down. Yugioh. I think I already missed it. Yeah, this is when he bows. But this
is like part of what gave me the vibe of what I was saying. Like, he's looking at the bow, realizing something, looking into Dark Meister's eyes.
Right.
Same realization. I don't know. I really get like a sense of like him connecting those two things.
So, I mean, that's obviously where we're going to go from here, because I don't know if we're not going to all be in agreement with this. Nick T, you've already said it, and you believe that this is Yuumu. You believe that this Dark Meister is Yuumu, and that the cat is also Yuumu. So do you want to like further like kind of just clarify that a little bit, like how you think it's playing out?
Who was it? I think Shadow Realm Z kind of put it into words very well earlier when I was first saying it. Like, Dark Meister is almost like a shadow of Yuumu, and whereas the cat, the Panther, is like Yuumu in whatever form she had changed when crossing over. But I do think the Dark Meister is her sort of shadow in a way.
So if that's the case, I guess my big question would be, who then sought out Yuumu to capture her? Right, because if Dark Meister is Yuumu, or a shadow version of Yuumu, and the cat is also Yuumu, then why Yuumu? Right, somebody must have, and it wasn't any of the four scrubs that are at the bottom of the totem pole here in the Dark Men.
No,
who or what actually captured Yuumu? So my belief, and I could definitely see that being the case, that this character is Yuumu as well as the cat. I believe, though, that this character is her own entity, and that Yuumu is the cat. I think they are two separate characters. If this is Yuumu, then, or like a mixture of another character with Yuumu, maybe something kind of like what they did with Yubel. Treasure, I know you've seen GX that deep in. Could see something like that, right? Where, like, Johan was possessed by Yubel, but Yubel was really the one in control. I could maybe see something like that as well, because there's a moment also in this episode when Yugioh first walks in where Dark Meister says to the cat, and says the name of the cat. I can't remember it, but again, it is like an anagram for Yuumu. And then the cat like responds to the Dark Meister, and I feel like that is a weird exchange if they are one and the same, and they are like the same character, because they like kind of communicate with each other. But it could be a situation where maybe the Dark Meister is like Yuumu mixed with whatever character ended up taking Yuumu.
Also possible, sure.
So I do think that it is a separate character. But I don't know. I don't know. It's very interesting.
If it is a separate character, Dylan, how do you feel about Yuumu being a Panther, taking that damage, and clearly being some kind of
Bad.
Yeah, it probably, as I said last night when I did the reaction to it, it probably does not bode well for her, because that makes it seem kind of like she is being held against her will, that she is being used as a shield. The only way that it would get interesting is if she is doing it genuinely, willingly, and she's willing to be a shield for this character and has fully bought into whatever the goals of this Darkmen group are, and then ends up, of course, being formidable. And, like, you remove the kidnapping, brainwashing, Stockholm Syndrome traits that you could get with a route like that. I think that would be tricky to do, because you could just say, oh, well, Yuumu agrees with them, but she got coerced into it, right? She got, like, talked into it and convinced. But, you know, that would be better than her just being straight up brainwashed. It probably doesn't bode great for her. But that's just honestly what I think is happening. Dredge, what's your theories on it?
On who's who? I'm you know me. I'm not someone I'm probably the least theorized person here. I'm usually the one that like I absorb. I'm like I just take the information and just kind of sit on it. But just if I had to give a rough estimate, I like the idea Nick Tia is saying, how like that it's the same character but they're different parts. I think the main thing that I'm again concerned about is Yuumu's character as a whole, no matter what happens. So I'm really that's why I can't give you too much right now, because in my head I'm like I really don't want this this studio to destroy this character, and the way it's looking right now, I'm very concerned about it. So I'm hoping I'm wrong, and I'm hoping, you know, Yuumu in some way was not just brainwashed, is not just, you know, was coerced, convinced. Even if she's convinced, like I would love it on her own volition to have made this decision and for her reasons to come out. So that being said, I hope, you know, the cat clearly, the name, you know, the scarf, everything. It's one of those things, though. Are they trying to get you to really think everything is telling you that like?
Well, even a non-dark man taking damage in this duel in the realm of the Darkmen, right? It affected Yugioh. He's Valkyrian. It affects the cat. We assume it's Yuumu. She's human. Like, even that checks out, you know?
Yeah. So it's just I don't want to speculate too much, because I'm very concerned about what they're doing for Yuumu's character. So I'm hoping there's some twist in here I'm missing, and Yuumu turns out to have done this her own volition, or is a real big bad, or I don't know. I'm not a writer. I've never admitted to being one. I'm not that talented, but I hope that these writers.
That's not true.
No, I'm really not. I'm good at a lot of things. Writing has never been one of them.
Judge, I have two hopeful theories for you.
Oh, here, hit me with them. Hit me with
All right,
them,
come on,
please.
Cal. Come on.
One is that the cat is Yuumu, but the Dark Meister is her Earth Damar.
Okay.
But it's like a dark matter Earth Damar. Like it's instead of Yuumu. I mean, instead of Damamu, who's like seems to be like this light and fun and whatever. But so that's a possibility where that could be a interesting twist, where like maybe the Earth Damar is kind of evil and she works with it. I don't know exactly how it would work.
Yeah.
But it would give her more power, I think, than being captured, obviously.
I agree.
And then my second hopeful theory is that she got captured, and instead of like leaving, decided to pretend to join them to figure out what they're about, and is kind of
that would be
prisoner
better
by choice, and ends up like helping them defeat the group by coming over and being like, hey, while I was here, because she's supposed to be the smart one. So like if
I don't
she,
know. Epoc's a smart one now, man.
I know, but like she was supposed to be the
Oh,
smart
she
one.
is.
So if she's able to trick them into helping them
that
win,
would be great for a character, Cal. I
Yeah.
hope one of your theory. I prefer
so
the latter.
those are my
to be
hopeful
correct,
theories
but
for you.
Yeah, I mean, I would love one of them to be correct because if neither of them correct, we're in some trouble. Were you a doomed, as they say.
Oh,
We are, yes. So Pete is about to join. So the only challenge, it's not going to be a minor, it'll be a minor challenge. I have to turn off your cameras so when Pete joins, I can rearrange the Discord call because we're pulling from the Discord call. So tell Pete he can join right now. I'm going to turn off. The audio will still be on for you guys. I'm going to turn off their cameras because I'm going to have to kind of rearrange it.
There's so much stuff off camera right now.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the things I'm doing right now should be illegal.
I mean, that is crazy.
They can still hear you.
Yeah, that is
I know
crazy.
they can still hear me. I'm very aware of that.
So Pete will be joining
now
us.
I got them thinking.
It's very grown up.
Well, actually, I mean, I'll just do it whenever Pete. Oh, good, Pete joined. Okay, cool. All right. Well, I still have to turn it on. All right. Bear with me. We will get this
my
working.
God.
Pete is here. Pete, what's going on, man?
Wait, why am I half and half?
What's going on,
right
man?
now?
How are you?
What is he? What did he? What?
I have to look at the screen to do this, so
Yeah, it's the downside to remote.
don't have a choice. Yeah.
Hello.
Pete, while I get this all sorted, hope you've been well. Would you like to quickly just give your thoughts on 108 and 109?
You want me to give my thoughts while we're all over the place?
Yeah. Well,
General
dude.
thoughts.
I got to arrange it anyway.
Yeah.
General
Yeah.
thoughts.
What's up, chat? Good to be back. It's been a couple months. Yeah, 108, 109, pretty good. I think 109 superior by far. I think it's the best season in the arc. I mean, that's not even a question. I've not been I binge watched a lot today. I've not been a big fan of this arc. I think it's been pretty lackluster. I think the Dark Men have been a bunch of fools for the most part. So it was nice to see Dark Meister actually come in here and whoever they are, she is, a little bit of intimidation, a little bit of actually winning a duel for once. It was really nice. And then, of course, the boy Yugioh being revived for like the third or fourth time in his life. Coming back here, I don't believe anything that happened at the end of him pledging his allegiance or any of that crap. I think it's all a ploy.
Yeah, it's 4D chess.
He's playing 4D chess. The whole cat next to the Dark Meister thing, I'm sure you guys talked about, is strange. How he looked at the cat and then looked into the eyes of the Dark Meister and then pledged the allegiance. Thought that was very odd as well. Feels like he definitely knows who one or both of those characters are, which is why he made the play he did. And great duel. I think that actually, believe it or not, is the best duel of the arc, but it stands right next to, for me, for Epoch and Manabu, which was the only other episode really of this entire arc that I actually liked. So I never thought I'd say that. But yeah, that's my quick thoughts on 108, 109, and kind of, I guess, everything else I've missed over the last couple months.
Cool, man. Well, yeah, it's good to have you back. Yeah, I think most people have not been the biggest fan of this arc, for sure.
Dylan.
Oh, my head's gonna explode right now.
You knew I was coming in, that maybe you would have like some idea of shape of what you wanted to do.
Not only that, you could have just done like 4 corners and then you in the middle.
Oh, that's actually smart. Well, listen, I'm hold on. I got this.
I mean, in his defense, it really throws off when you add a late one. So, but
yeah,
even then,
you ask before I.
Yeah, no, you're
That
good.
was awesome.
No, he knew it was coming. He just, the way he's
No, I got it.
Is something.
It's
to say the very least.
It's been something. It's
This is good.
Poor
I
Nick
like
Nixie's forehead is gone.
Yeah,
Like,
where's the rest of my head, dude?
I like how Pete gets this whole side big box on top, and the three of us are just.
Listen, I'm doing the best that I can, man.
It looks like an ice cream sandwich.
All right, hold on.
Yeah,
I need to match
middle.
you guys. Hold on.
Yeah.
All right, we will get right back underway.
Here we go.
This is gonna look great.
That's fine. It looks good. It looks fine.
See, that looks legit now, though. That makes it better.
We're the boys we're in the control room right now, the three of us.
That's true.
We're in the Matrix.
I mean, literally, actually, with your background. So.
Dude, The Matrix, such a good movie. Shout out to The Matrix. Shout out to Neo, man.
Yeah, shout out Neo.
Shout out Dredge.
What? That has I have nothing to do with The Matrix, man.
I don't know that.
Actually, you know what? He's got a point.
So Pete, you're
I see you as the guy that sold us out in the Matrix, and you sold us out for the steak in the restaurant.
Oh, that's messed up. I would never.
that as
I
weird.
like you guys. Now, Nick T.
No, that's why I see
Well,
Nick
he-
T. as. He's that character.
Oh, Nick T is okay. I was gonna say.
Yeah, not you, Drudge. Nick T.
Oh,
Nick T,
okay.
we'll be partners in that restaurant.
Yeah, I like that.
All right.
What?
cool.
What?
Oh, I mean, no, I would never sell it. My
Oh,
friend.
no, too bad. You got him,
So-
guys.
So
Got
Pete,
him.
your thoughts as well. Just want to get your thoughts on a very hot topic after 109, of course, with the Dark Meister, with Yuumu. Nick T believes that they are one and the same. I think they are two separate characters. Would love to know kind of where your theory is at with the Dark Meister character, and of course the cat leopard that was seemingly taking the damage for her, that has Yuumu's scarf on. I mean, what are your thoughts on that character?
I think they're two different characters. Totally could see the cat being Yuumu, to kind of, I don't know, some kind of penance or something to whether join them, or she was never really a part of this dark empire, and so she's just being punished for it. I see that as two separate characters. I don't think there's a connection. I mean, Aura made the translation note about the we is not
Royalty.
world,
Yeah,
it's the
royalty.
royalty.
Yeah.
Royalty. So I don't think I think they're completely separate. I actually like the ego on a character when they'll talk about themselves kind of in the third person.
I like that
really
as well.
like kind of that aspect of it, and I thought it fit well for the Dark Meister. So yeah, that's kind of my initial thoughts so far.
Cool. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see, what route do they go with there. And then I think, does anybody actually believe that Yugioh is signing off on the mission of the Darkmen and believes that they are, whatever they're doing, because we still have no idea what their actual goals are, is like good, or we all are in agreement that Yugioh obviously has some sort of ulterior plan here?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I agree.
Well, because I think he at least is going to try, like, he's going to start by finding out why it was him that they revived. Like, that's
Right.
got to be the first
That's-
information you're going for.
It's very important.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that there is a very good chance that there is a relation between Dormammu and Yugioh. Actually, it was Pink Penguin who said this theory. Really, really liked the theory. Probably would even sign off on it, that it took a certain amount of Dormammu in order to revive a Valkyrian. And so maybe the goal with the Darkmen originally was to get Dormammu to multiply. Dormammu reached a certain amount. That was enough to revive Yugioh, and that's why Dormammu went back to the singular form. There's a lot of connection and history between the Earth Damar and Yugioh. So to theorize that maybe it was Dormammu and their power, unbeknownst to them, that brought back Yugioh, I think makes a lot of sense. I actually really, really like that theory.
Yep, it's definitely a good one. Definitely has some like stuff behind it.
I think that's
validity behind
correct.
that,
yeah.
I just think it's correct.
Straight up.
Yeah, no, I think that's actually it.
Yeah, no,
Imagine Shining got it on one.
No, like, that just kind of blew my mind a little bit. I think that's like a perfect theory.
Yeah, I like that theory a lot.
Yeah, it just makes so much sense.
It does.
Beer.
It just makes so much sense.
The timing is particularly interesting. That like maybe you need seven.
Yeah, like seven to one.
Dormammu. 7. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know what. Well, I mean, 7 maybe for. No, 7s. I mean, it's not 7s.
I mean,
but...
it's a reach.
Yeah.
That's a foul. Reaching.
Yeah, no, that one doesn't really make sense.
good
Contact Fusion probably means absolutely nothing. Dredge is gone to the three of you, right? Like, it was a cool new thing, but it probably meant nothing to you guys, right? For you guys that don't know, that was a very big thing in GX. Probably was nothing special for you guys, right?
I felt like it just felt like it was something that was a throwback, but like I wouldn't know what it was.
Yeah.
But like I still kind of felt like that, like the aura of it, like when he put it up, like you could kind of feel like the intensity of it, which was cool.
Yeah, exactly. The same thing for me as well.
Yeah, but that for me that was very cool. Seeing Contact Fusion outside of GX, I never saw it coming. I should have, because I think you had said it after the name of the card that had come out. I'm not thinking. I'm not. There's no way they're bringing contact fusion to Rush Yu-Gi-Oh. There's no way. So when it happened, I was totally caught off guard.
I mean, it makes sense because it's like easy to
Yeah, very.
use, right? Like it makes like to fold right into the game.
Especially the style Rush is, yeah.
Yeah. No, but it's cool. Like, yeah, even though I didn't have any like connection to it reference wise, like, yeah, it was hype. Like as a whole, it was like, oh, this is something that I haven't seen before. Obviously, the characters haven't seen it before, and we're all just like, what? You know, so it was dope.
Yeah, and very typical for the leader of the villain group or the threat of an arc to get like
Debut.
Yeah, it's not like I wouldn't consider it like a new I mean, maybe people would consider it a new mechanic. I mean,
Rush. I mean,
yeah, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't.
It's new to Rush, technically. It is.
Yeah, but like I've always just viewed it as like a different way to fuse, you know. So it's
which is
part of
true.
fusion. It's part of like it's like one of the branches of fusion, you know.
Fair.
But
I get that, but like think about what you said, Dill. Like when equips became such a big thing in this show, is like it's an equip Civil, but in this show they make it kind of cool.
They
right?
do,
and like it's a big deal when they do that. So usually one of these big bosses, at least the ones that matter, gets some kind of new thing: fusion, contact fusion, equip spells, maximums, whatever it is. So it's not that surprising.
Yeah, that was exactly the route I was going, right? We had Nail use the maximums, we had Yugioh use the fusions, we had I think it was Rovian who used the first equip spell, or was it Yuna? It may have been Yuna. I don't remember in the second arc.
I think
but
it was Yuna.
Yeah, it was one of them. So like it's always like a character going up against our main crew that like introduces this method. So or like a newish method. So yeah, I thought that was really cool as someone who you know, just like seeing new stuff, you know. I like it.
Of course.
It's one of those
nostalgia.
It's one of those things. Yeah, it really is. So like it's one of those things where like does the game need it? Probably not.
Yeah. It's not about that. It's for your OG people who watched early on, who were caught up with it. It's for them. That's what it is. It's an ode to them to say, hey,
it is.
We know this is something small, and it's not going to mean anything to anyone else. But for you who've been here with us for how many years is it now, Dill? Like 20 something plus years. Right?
Long time.
25 years.
Long time.
Yeah, it's for us. It's for you guys who've been with us. You know, throwback to GX. We've done GX stuff. You know, we've done. It's just nice to have that for your long time fans.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on how you define like need, right? Does the game actually need anything extra? But this is like a fun thing that they're adding that doesn't like break the game or change it in a drastic way.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very well said. And it's funny because what was I gonna say? Oh, I had something to say. I can't remember it. No, it's funny. Colin Cleves brought this up. It was Colin who brought it up. He said, now I didn't see it because I was staying off of all social media for spoilers, but he said there were so many people that like were talking about the contact fusion scene, that were like reacting to it, which he's very much on the beat, so I'm sure that's the case, even though I didn't see any of it, but I'm sure it's the truth. It reminded me of when Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's Opening 2 came out, and I saw so many people on Twitter freaking out about Utopia, Yuma's ace monster, or at least a version of him, being in that opening. And I know some people when I would stream it that said that opening and Utopia being in it is what got them to either continue or fully watch 7's or get to the point caught up because they were so interested. So like you do these nostalgia things to bring people that maybe are borderline watching the show or maybe not even interested at all to say, oh, that looks pretty cool. Maybe I should give that show a chance. And that was probably the big reason.
Yep.
Just like I'm sure if we ever got some form of like Synchro or XZs in Rush, which I'm not saying we will, I'm sure people would go crazy for it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, it's the nostalgia.
And kind of callback is just gonna like, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, absolutely. Hold on, watch this.
What am I watching?
I'm watching.
I'm nervous.
No, there we go. Now we got the background.
What?
This is
what?
There
Oh, I like that.
We got the nice city back. That is, believe it or not,
what city is that?
that is Den City.
Yeah, it
it's
is.
so out of focus.
It's so out of focus and blurry that it could be literally any city.
It's also just that little sliver. It's not a background. It's just that little sliver.
Hold on, let me do this. Watch
It's to
this.
fill the space. It's
about
okay.
that?
There we go. I like that better.
How about that? How about that?
That's
wait.
better. That's better.
All right.
Show
Yeah.
where Calibur's apartment would be in Density.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's no
Right
there
there.
are only buildings tall enough.
Right
to-
there.
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that.
It's right in that. It's right in that building. Trying to think. Yeah, Cal.
Dredge.
Yes, sir.
This is completely like irrelevant to the
Oh,
conversation
this
right now,
should be
Dill.
good
But
then.
I love it.
my brother just texted me and he sent me a picture at Madison Square Garden for
Yeah.
game 1.
Yeah,
I'm so mad.
It doesn't surprise me.
Didn't tell me. He's just there.
My dad will be at game 2 on Friday. So
Yeah.
When are you guys
It's
going?
messed up.
Wait, the world's
I'm
most
not
famous
going.
arena?
I'm not going.
Yeah.
I have no desire to go.
I don't have the money to go.
I'm convinced if I went to a deciding game, Madison Square Garden, I'd have a heart attack and die. I swear to God.
You probably
I'm
would.
actually
You could
convinced
you
if
could
I
go out
go-
on top. You go out on top.
Oh, that's if they win, Pete. Even if they lost, I'm gonna have the heart attack. So that's the problem.
True.
I don't know if I'm willing to take that risk.
MSG
Well,
is sick.
We'll be rooting
Oh,
for
it's a good
the we'll be rooting for the Rangers tonight for sure.
Let's go Rangers.
Yep. Do any of you guys have any theories as to the goal of the Darkmeister group? Because
I
like
gotta say more
we
to
have
be
no idea what their motivation is, right?
I mean, apparently they were just born yesterday. Apparently.
They were born like a month ago.
A month ago,
So yesterday.
Yeah.
basically.
So I mean, I get world domination. Like I don't know.
Well, they
That's
wanted
usually what it's like. Oh, we
I
want to
don't
be
get
the
that
best.
vibe from them.
Well,
wanted
they-
the
they-
curry
they-
bread, right?
They stole
What?
Zuijou's dual disc and
They
his
wanted
deck.
the curry bread.
I think that was
Yes,
a
that's
side
actually a
quest.
good point. No, Cal. I think Cal's right. There was a line in somewhere in there where
They said I didn't
No.
get the special curry bread, but I got what
yeah,
we were looking
I
for,
do
and then
think
gave
the curry bread actually is
deck.
going to.
You
play
don't
a
think the
big
curry
role.
bread was a throwaway
No.
gag line?
I don't think so. Actually.
You
All
do.
right.
You do?
If we're talking gag lines that probably aren't throwaways, it's the fact that their secret was that Darkman like mochi. I don't know what that means. I know what mochi is. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. But that for that to be the secret, I feel like is gonna like lean into something, which I don't know how to feel about that.
See, I thought I thought he was laughing as he ran away because he was lying, like he was telling a joke.
I don't know. Like I feel like most of the time the loser is usually pretty like they hold up with their end of the deal.
Yeah, but they're the Dark Matter Empire.
I mean, yes. But I don't know.
I have nothing, so I'm just
But I will say, yeah, that obviously integral to the plan was resurrecting Zuijouh. I mean, they stole his
Yeah.
dual disc and his deck.
Yeah, that was very
to
important.
to give back to him. So like obviously that has to have something with it.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe
Otherwise-
Yeah.
maybe they're trying to revive all the Valkyrians, and they needed Zuijouh to help them do it.
I don't think
Maybe.
so. I don't think
All right,
so.
well, all right, Dill, it sounds like you got an idea. So what we got going?
No,
what
for
are you cooking?
once, I really am kind of stumped. I don't,
Aw.
the problem is,
Aw.
the problem is there really is so many different things that they could be after. And like, because it's Go Rush, it could be something that's like, kind of like more on the silly side. I
Curry bread.
hope it's not
Mochi.
that route, but like it could be. Like, we don't know.
They have a curry bread recipe because they've been eating the same thing every single day for years, and now they're trying to eat something else.
Now, again, I hope
Still,
that's
what-
not the route they
what-
go. But what, Pete? What did you say, Pete?
It has
So
some
what
idea.
What was your thing? I just wanted because obviously I joined late.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
was your thing on Dormammu coming back together? What was your reason of why you believe that was the case?
Yeah, so
Oh.
it was actually right after I finished the watch along. I didn't really have even time to think of anything myself. Pink Penguin kind of put this theory in my head, and I really liked it. Thought about it today, really liked it. That the duplication of Dormammu was to get enough Dormammus and therefore enough Earth Damar. And again, this is Pink Penguin's theory, but I do
Yep.
agree with it. In
I love
order to revive a Valkyrian, 7 Dormammu was enough power in order to revive Zuijouh. That's why 7 of the 8 Dormammu disappear, because they use Dormammu's energy to, unbeknownst to them, to revive Zuijouh. There is a lot of connection between the Earth Damar and Zuijouh, as we've seen in the show. So I feel like that could make sense. I like that theory.
you don't think that I like that theory, but you don't think the curry bread was the reason why maybe Dormammu came back together? If I just tweak that end of that theory a little bit, I just feel like I don't think that was a throwaway line about them not getting the bread, not achieving that objective. I think that was legitimate, and I think we've seen kind of somewhat of the jokes and the importance of curry bread before in the show. I feel like, you know, Calibra's been on this actually for a while, as Dormammu is a more important character than we have probably given credence to on the show, given some time to. And I think they are the key of whatever the Dark Empire is doing because they are so powerful. And I think this could be the Dark Meister manipulating the situation, not only to get Yugioh back because they believe they can control them at this point. They don't know that Yugioh's probably playing 4D chess. But I think it's also kind of a testing ground of how can we manipulate Dormammu's powers and what can we do. And that's where the bread kind of serves its purpose to maybe rein it back in when it goes too far. I don't know. I thought there was something to that scene more than just a gag.
It could be. No, it definitely could be. I do have the screenshot pulled up. Again, this is going back 2 episodes to the end of 108. Even though I am a top official, I failed to obtain the sample curry bread. Yeah, see, now, I to be honest, I just read it as a gag throwaway line. But it might not be.
Really?
It might not be. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
Even though socially withdrawn, I was able to. Well, the thing, too, with these characters is in a lot of ways, I feel like they are, like, they're more, like, not jokes, because that's cruel. But they are they're on the goofier side. Like, they're goofy, right, Nick T?
You could call them jokes.
Three out of 4 of them.
Well, I like the cheerleader girl, and I like Sabuus, but but
I like one of them.
This is the one I was talking about.
The first one,
not a joke.
Yeah,
it's not a joke.
Do you guys see them possibly the Dark Men as an entity, as a whole, right? Do you see them as kind of the representations or a splitting of maybe one person's personality, right? Because like one of them kind of represents anxiety and one of them kind of represents like a fear of socialization and one of them is kind of more upfront and then, you know, so they all have these different things about them. One of them has extreme attachment issues. Like I feel like there are different parts of the mind there of them.
Well, Pete's cooking.
Possible.
Pete's cooking.
Yeah.
I was just an idea.
like that.
You know?
Yeah, I
like that.
And like
That's a
the new
possibility.
one that's like being in that theory, the new one that's being born is a different personality trait of Yuumu's, and in which case Yuumu would be the Dark Meister.
Right.
It's a possibility, or they're
Yuumu's
trying,
all of them. Yeah.
the Dark Meister is trying to make the Yuumu into something else. I just thought that there was an interesting line in the episode when Darkmeister was talking to Yugioh, and maybe Dill, you could pull up this specific line when I say it, but it was something about like you don't know like the depths you can reach to until you've been in the abyss before.
Yeah.
And to me that felt, and this is just again shot in the dark, total crack theory. That felt very much like a Yuumu line of someone who's been through something, because I mean she went and got pulled into the darkness of space, right?
Into the abyss.
So that could be someone that's like she's kind of saying that back to Yugioh there, which is kind of ironic.
Then you
because,
must first sink into the darkness yourself.
Yeah, so I don't know. I felt like that was also somewhat of a meaningful line of, even if the Dark Meister is a completely separate character, of kind of their backstory of something that they've went through, and that was kind of like it hit a little bit of a nerve what Yugioh was saying, and then they kind of clapped that back to them of like, you have no idea until you've done this, which is ironic because Yugioh has gone through arguably the most horrible things in the show.
Yeah.
So it's ironic that you have two possibly very like pain-stricken characters kind of beating in the stool.
I like that a lot. A lot.
Yeah, I mean it is interesting. And then Pete, we talked about it before you came on. Want to pick your brain about the I guess I'm just calling it the eye scene. Yugioh like wakes up in this weird like mental space. That's the best way that I can describe it. And like it looks as if a huge eye is staring right at him. And then of course it fades to black, and then we're back in present time. I mean, did you think it was an eye? Like what did you make of that?
I took it as an eye. I don't see it as like literally physically there. It was kind of like some kind of mental projection. But I think that the eye there, then the big eye, and then he's looking into the eyes of the Dark Meister and what we presume is Yuumu, the cat. like or Panther or whatever it is. There's symbolism there of, I don't know, something looking beyond the eye into the soul. That's maybe how he recognized who that person was. I mean, I didn't realize how obvious it was until you had the picture of the Panther there on the screen, and it's the exact
bow.
Yeah. I was like, wow, okay, they were very heavy-handed with that. I didn't even realize that while I was watching the episode.
Yeah.
So I think that it's clearly her, or at least some part of.
That's her big eye right there.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know too much to draw from that. Beside, I don't know, he was kind of wigging out, man. He was seeing some stuff.
I'll tell you something,
cartoonish.
Nick T. Something that you want to look at this picture and say there might be something that could support your theory as maybe the Darkmeister and the cat being Yuumu. And I asked the question, well, if that's the case, then who or what grabbed Yuumu at the end of season 2? Could be this thing, right?
Whatever this is, yeah.
Could be this thing.
That may be.
This scene, I'll tell you something. This scene reminds me, and Dredger's the only one that'll know what I'm talking about of the 5 of us. People in chat might know. Reminds me a lot of the first time that we see Zone in 5D's, Dredger. Do you remember that scene? Where they zoom in on the mask and then the eye, and you're like, what the hell is that? And then there's no words, and then you're back to, like, present day. Remember? Like,
it was weird.
It reminds me a lot of that scene. So, like, this
has that vibe.
This very much, I mean, I'm saying, oh, maybe it's like, open your third eye. There very much might be a more literal meaning here, and it could be the leader of this entire thing. Maybe is not the Darkmeister, especially if the Darkmeister is Yuumu, but maybe it's this creature actually being a physical entity, which is terrifying. We've seen Quaidul be that big, so it's definitely possible.
It's possible. I don't think I am down that line of thinking at this current moment, but it's totally possible. I mean, this show has gone many crazy directions, so why not?
Yeah. It's gonna be exciting, man, to see just how it all plays out. But yeah, Pete, you said that this season had been underwhelming for you. This episode, you're feeling better about it?
Yeah, I mean, it very much feels, unfortunately, like kind of the space-time arc where it took quite a bit to the end of the arc to get going, and that's just my opinion. I mean, obviously, there's people in chat that have loved this arc so far. That's great. It's just it's not kind of my acquired taste. I don't, I've said many times before, like I don't need any sinisterness on the show, but the goofiness of a lot of these antagonists, like just really just takes me out. It's like, and it's just I'm not about any of that. And then it's a weird team that we've talked about that, and I know you guys because I've watched the podcast when I haven't been on. Like it's a weird crew that we have on the ship. Even with Manabu and Neanderstar now, it's still a strange crew of people being there. I like to see Yugioh be a little bit more front and center than I think he's kind of been in some ways. But I also have enjoyed what they have done with Epoch a lot. And I've actually really enjoyed her presence on screen. And I'm finally glad that she kind of grew into her own and shed the box. And he's now the leader of the ship, even enough a couple episodes ago to be like, oh, I'm being challenged to duel. Actually, you know what? Manabu, actually, you duel for me. Kind of vice captain there. I like that stuff. So yeah,
exercising her power a little bit.
Yeah, it's the beginning of a season. It's not a huge deal. We'll be fine.
I think, Nick T. Cal and Dredge, you can back me up. I think most people that we've heard from have not been too big on the arc. I think that's been kind of at least what we've seen, kind of the consensus there.
I think Laura said that she does, but as far as a general consensus, it's pretty
it's been slow. And again, as we've always said, that the start of a season usually is slow. But that being said, some of the gags they've done with some of the characters just hasn't been most of chat's favorite. Now, again, there are people who do enjoy it a lot, but at least when I'm reading and seeing, and myself included, I'm not as big a fan on it.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I think that these last 2 episodes have kind of brought it back for me. Like it was just
especially 109. Yeah, I mean, I've been more positive on it than you 3 for the most part. But like, yeah, I mean, it started exactly how like you'd expect most seasons to start. I think season 2 was different because it like threw us into a totally different, already established like time skip and space that we were familiar with. But when you go into space, when you have a brand new like villain group that were like kind of slow trickling that villain group, one of the things that I really did not like with the villains was that they were all segmented. We didn't really get any scenes of them like talking amongst each other or shots with the leader. But after the first few episodes, you know, that changed. So I like that now it seems like more of a like actual group rather than just individual characters, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that. I like that they have kind of a home base, the castle. It's always nice to bring some kind of element like that. So I enjoy it. And it's kind of just like floating in, I guess, for lack of a better term, the darkness of space. So
floating in space.
Yeah. No, really, really cool. All right. You wanted to go to some donation super chats?
Sounds good.
Cool. All right. Shark Messiah. I know Shark, she was not able to stay. Thank you for the donations. Probably going to miss the stream tonight, but I have 3 theories I wanted to share with you guys tonight, so bear with me. All right. These are the 3 theories. You guys are going to have to let me know which one you agree with the most. Okay. First one, I think Otis from Sevens, or a new version of Otis, Yugioh coming back from the past to the wormhole place and using elemental heroes to teach Yugioh about contact fusion. We did get Neos in the trial deck after all, so who knows? All right, that's the first theory.
That was one.
That was one.
Okay.
So that is, again, TLDR, Otis coming back to teach and using to teach Yugioh about contact fusion.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Okay, yeah. Okay.
I mean, I like
choices
it.
Here?
Yeah, here's the next 2.
Number 2.
The Dark Matter Empire is entirely made up of Dark Meisters Earth to Mars. They've been showing Dormammu multiplying every time they interact with the Dark Matter, so it would make sense that Meister made the others that way, starting with the Scarf Cat, possibly.
Okay.
I like that one.
And then the latest...
That one's all right.
Nick T will agree with this one. The latest episode has confirmed it for me. Dark Meister is Yuumu. Meister saying we and us in this episode makes me believe we have a Venom situation. Well, we know that's not true because the we is royalty.
Yeah, the we is the royalty.
Right.
Yeah, so that was in the translation notes. With Dark Meister being Yuumu controlled or merged with this dark symbiote, this is brainwashing done right. Well, we do know that it is a royal we, so that, I mean, it still could be true, but not for that reason.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Of those 3,
I vote 2.
You vote 2.
Number 2.
2.
I'm gonna vote 1.
So, can you explain why you're choosing 1?
I'd
love to know your analysis.
Sure, I'll give you one reason. I think
just one.
This is a reason I think everybody in chat's gonna agree with. I'd love to see Elemental Heroes get animated and rush Yu-Gi-Oh.
So because you want it to happen, it's the most likely.
Yeah,
well, no, hold on. I'm not picking the one. I didn't say the most likely. I said pick the one that you agree with the most.
Was the question? Yeah. So.
He's confusing himself.
Because the Rangers are on soon, I'm just gonna zip my lip. Sounds good, Dill. Good call.
So do you think so? There's no chance we're seeing Elemental Heroes in Go Rush.
I'm not saying that. I would love to see them, but like.
There's a non-zero chance.
Yeah, Cal, give me a stat here. You're good with stats, Cal. Give me a good stat for this.
Oh,
There's like at least a 0.3% chance of it happening.
That checks out. Cool.
I'd say closer to 20, but that's fine.
20.3
for all of our reactions in unison.
Well, Elemental Heroes just got revealed like a month ago. I don't think it's the craziest thing that they might show
20%.
up.
20%.
Dude, that's 1 in 4.
1 in 5. I'm not talking about Otis showing up. I'm not talking about Otis showing up. I'm talking about Elemental Heroes showing up in Go Rush.
Jill, what's scariest for you, Otis showing up is probably like 60% or something silly. So don't even get me started on that.
That's 80 at least.
There you go.
Listen,
he's drinking water on purpose so he doesn't have to answer.
We've seen Blue Eyes. We've seen Dark Magician.
Yeah, next dono.
We've even seen Utopia.
Next dono.
We'll see. I don't think it's the most crazy thing. Dark Emperor J, thank you for the $2 donation. Dill asked if Darkmeister is Otis's wife. Aura said sometimes people say things that they themselves want And with how Dill keeps thinking of Otis and bringing him up, it all makes sense. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
I'm not going to comment on that, but I will say I don't think Otis would be that bad of a catch for somebody that was in that market. A man who had a very good job at a very reputable corporation, right? A working man.
Fired.
Calibro can
Yeah,
attest
fired.
to that. He did get fired, but you figure he gets unemployment, so that's pretty good.
Got fired.
He probably gets a pretty significant golden parachute. Like he's set.
He also may have gotten fired for like non-legitimate reasons, and so he might have sued Gohan, may have gotten a large settlement.
Right. Yeah, but also we'll skip over the fact that he tried to murder children. No worries. Got it.
Also,
Totally.
Well,
also where you're justifying that he has a lot of money, so he's attractive. That's also what you're saying too.
You
No,
also don't know what his face
Still in
looks
the
like.
shower, so.
Yeah, that's true.
well, we also have to imagine in some sort of reality he could be married to Mrs. Odo, Yuga's mother.
You gotta figure, yeah.
I mean,
And if he can pull a woman like that, he's got to be pretty charismatic.
there's at least a 0.05% chance that that's
Okay,
Yeah,
wait.
yeah.
So he is married to Mrs. Odo.
Hypothetically.
So he also is married to the Dark Meister.
No, one or the other.
Yeah.
well,
that's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
no, that's
Oh, no,
a
wait.
different hypothetical.
Bro, I forgot Otis is polygamous. We're good. We just
Oh,
said that. We're good.
Sure.
okay.
We don't know.
covered.
Maybe. Sure. I like that, Judge.
I
Thank
don't.
you. Lorena,
welcome.
I didn't even bring that one up because I felt like, we didn't need to get that crazy.
Just go to the next one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Lorena, thank you for the $2 donation. Episode 108 was funny and I laughed here and there, but let's talk about 109. I love how the Dark Men called Yugioh an intruder multiple times, like he wasn't obviously expected to show up. The Darkmeister even had his deck ready in advance. Yeah, that is true. They treated him like a legitimate intruder, but of course, they were expecting him. So that was kind of funny.
They probably put him there in the first place.
Oh, yeah, they revived him in their
They're
space.
bullying him because he's better than they are. So.
Yeah.
We've been expecting you.
Yeah. Well, he's
He
better
even
than...
physically twisted that guy's arm. He didn't even have to duel.
Yeah.
He's
Dude,
they're
those
like, oh,
lightning
there's-
reflexes. He's
and
like,
he's like, yeah, there's more of us. He's like, okay, are you sure? Like, are you sure you're good? Like before the Dark Light, I'm like, this guy is such a baller, dude.
Yeah.
he's the boss.
Yeah. Angie, thank you so much for the very, very generous $10 donation. Appreciate you, Angie. I said it in the pre-show chat, but what if all the Dark Men are eighths of a full being, and how Dormammu is foreshadowing with that 8 split combining into 1? This is for all intents and purposes a shit post. Well, I mean, we've kind of maybe not.
We touched on that.
Yeah,
without
maybe
even
not like
knowing
an
it.
eighth of a being, but like different personality traits. Like that, it definitely is not the craziest thing.
Yeah, I mean, numbers notwithstanding, like that kind of pretty similar to what we were saying.
Yeah, it is. Which is very, very interesting for sure. Angie, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Crystal Colden, thank you for the Go Rush donation. I appreciate you, Crystal. 888. Thank you so much. 108, and I know Crystal hasn't been the highest on this season. 108, not bad, not good either. Darkman was a Bakugan, no takebacks. 109, Contact Fusion, Dark Matter Dragon. Yugioh is back and he loses. Slams hand on table. Best episode of this arc so far. Now give me that Dark Matter Dragon and its fusion. Yeah, I definitely love the episode. I mean the episode was fantastic. So Crystal, I know hasn't been too high on this season. So even for Crystal, really good episode, which you always want to see. Again, that's the power of Yugioh. That's the power a lot of these Yu-Gi-Oh rivals have, man. It's like it can just flip a switch like that, and it's always such a treat to see them on screen. Do you want to do some super chats,
baby.
boys?
Oh yeah.
Sure, Nick T, you want to do it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we have 53 months of Slifer Red membership from Cal Breezy.
Thank you, Cal. Appreciate it.
With the message, Gaston.
Oh my God.
Has he been singing that all over the house?
What happened with Gaston?
Well, I watched Beauty and the Beast for the first ever time a couple days ago.
Hold on.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
I've never
dude,
watched it either, to be fair.
He doesn't watch movies.
So I watched it.
I didn't grow up with Disney, so
That's crazy, dude.
I watched it for I don't know. You've heard of it, Nick T?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Oh,
God. So I watched it. And the way Gaston sings really cracked me up. It's actually funny because when I first saw Gaston, I was like, "Oh, this is Calibro." Right,
Yeah,
like,
I knew you were gonna say.
but then
say
Nick
that.
T, as soon as he actually started talking, like outside of the first song, and like he was like super misogynistic. I mean, super.
Oh yeah, he sucks.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
all right,
yeah,
I can't
he's
even
bad
compare
guy.
Calibro, even in jest, to this guy, because like this guy
appreciate that.
like
You know what?
actually sucks.
That's nice.
So, the like manliness. We're thinking about trying the Gaston diet, which would be 6 dozen eggs. Dredger, would you be willing to try that
Did you
with
just
us?
did you just say 6?
I did, and good call because I am wrong. So
5
thank you.
dozen.
It's 5 dozen. Thanks, Dredge. Yeah, it's 5 dozen.
So are they
60
cooked?
eggs.
Are they raw
You-
eggs?
Any way you'd like. Any way you'd want.
Yeah, any way you shake it.
But would
And-
you
and
be
how
willing
much-
to do that challenge with me and
How much,
Calibro?
how much time do I have to eat them?
All day.
It's every day.
All day.
Well,
So
I guess that's not.
Wait. So the diet is 60 eggs
A
every
day.
single day.
Yes.
Do you want to know how fast you die? I can give you an over.
You would
I
be
said.
so
I
dead.
said.
You know-
He,
you know
he
your
looks
cholesterol
great.
would be
He
after
looks
one-
amazing, Dredge. The guy is
He's a
jacked out of
little-
his mind.
It's an animated character.
Bro, he's lying to you about his diet. That's what all these jack dudes do. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they lie.
hello?
Yeah.
Oh, he's on steroids.
Honestly, if you just cut out,
Probably.
all I did was just cut out sugar and I
And
I
carbs
just- yeah,
and everything, you know.
He's
I
like,
mean,
yeah, sure, buddy. Yeah, that's all he
yeah.
did.
Okay, guy. Okay. Yeah.
But
That's
anyway,
that's why all your veins are popping out right now out of your neck.
Yeah.
All right, bud.
Oh, jeez.
anyway, if we do try that, we'll record it and it'll be a video. Cal, thank you for the
Yeah,
53 months.
Me and Dill were
Oh.
singing Gaston at dinner time today.
Yes,
That's why I brought it
I
up.
love that.
Yes.
I'm sure
Thank you,
I'm
Cal.
sure Bree loves that.
She
That's
was
beautiful.
enjoying it.
I'm sure she was.
You should join in.
We have $5 from Sean Gilbride.
Thank you,
Sean.
Sean. Appreciate you, man.
Said, first place in the 50-meter dash and shot put at State Special Olympics Iowa track and field competition.
Let's
and with the
go,
gold medal
Sean.
emoji. Dude, he's crushing
Let's go,
it.
Sean, baby.
Crushing it.
Woo!
Yeah,
Go.
Sean had mentioned that to me earlier today. Sean, congrats again, man. Proud of you. We're all proud of you. Keep killing it, dude. Really, really awesome. And thank you for the donation. I
it.
appreciate you, man.
Very awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
He seriously. We have $10 from Jack TCG VGC.
Jack Knight.
Yep.
Thank you, Jack.
Yeah.
And he said, "Hi guys, all caught up with the show. Love the Dark Matter decks. Also, did any of y'all see the Cobra Kai season 6 announcement dates? Also, Deadpool and Wolverine trailer was so good." I don't follow Cobra Kai, so I can't say I've seen
and then
that.
Deadpool, Wolverine, I have not.
I still need to watch that trailer. I heard it's really good.
I'm excited for it though.
I'm very
regardless.
excited.
I haven't seen the trailer yet either.
I've heard the trailer's sick though.
July.
July.
Oh, it's coming up fast.
Yeah, it comes out in like 2 months. Yeah, I'm very excited for it.
Quick.
We're going to see it at midnight premiere, right?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I thought we were going for Frozen 3.
Well,
I
Frozen
heard
3,
Frozen
yes,
3.
but
Yeah.
That-
It's a while. It's a
Frozen
while.
3, just mark your calendars. It's November 26, 2026. So just make
Are,
sure
are you gonna
remember.
Are you gonna bring your art?
I hope he brings his art.
I don't have that art, and I think Nick T knows that.
That was like that. You know, that's a crazy thing to say. That was. I wasn't even paying attention.
I mean that.
Uh,
I mean that's insane. That's
And now, and to
insane.
be fair, I did make that joke once or twice in Disneyland, so you
You
know,
did,
all
you
fair.
did.
So all fair.
Jesus.
And I bought art for free, so
Oh, what'd you play?
I bought her a
Art.
nice
It wasn't Frozen.
Robin Hood. I bought her.
Robin Hood?
Yeah,
Jeez.
Robin Hood.
Yeah,
Yes, a
Robin
nice
Hood.
Robin Hood.
I have to see
print.
this. I
Yeah,
have to see it.
yeah.
I'll
Robin
send you a
Hood's-
pic later,
It
Nick
was a
T.
collection of Frozen
Please
stuff
do.
for like $8
I actually
grand.
don't know where it is.
It was not $8. It was not. It was nowhere near
Yeah, it was.
$8 grand.
The ones on the back wall, there was 3 Frozen paintings. They were.
Oh, yeah.
You're right.
Oh,
Yes, I thought you were saying that's what I bought once upon a time.
No.
Oh yeah.
Why did I say that?
Well,
Don't
because Nick
spend
T
it.
just brought it up.
Dylan bought the $285,000 Swarovski crystal castle. That's what Dylan brought.
Oh, I've seen that thing. That thing is beautiful.
Wait, can you repeat the dollar amount?
$285,000.
Oh,
now,
that's-
if that's a little out of your budget, they were selling a gem-encrusted Epcot ball for $79,000. If that's more your budget.
It's like a day of work. I could
Day trading, right? That's all you need to do.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
I consider myself an entrepreneur.
Something
Anyway, oh man.
Ooh, man,
That was good, Nick T. That was good.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Not sure how we got there.
Yeah. Hey, I don't. Well, we talk about Deadpool and Wolverine, and then the Frozen
yeah.
release date, and then
Gotcha,
you know.
gotcha.
Yeah, hope that
Thank
works
you,
in a good
Jack.
way.
Hope you've been well, man.
Yes, thank you, Jack. We have 22 months of Raw Yellow membership from Crystal Colden.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Crystal. Appreciate you.
Crystal.
Almost 2 years of watching this podcast. Man, does time fly quickly. My source for crazy theories and cool sketches. The Yuhi I drew came from an episode.
That is really
really?
cool. Crystal, I want to say
Very cool.
thank you for making this a part of your weekly tradition. Thank you for truly going above and beyond with the being a channel member, the super chats, the donations over the years. It's been very, very kind, and I really do appreciate you, Crystal. So thank you, and I'm happy that we do give you a form of entertainment. So thank you, Crystal.
Yes, thank you.
Going back to the link donos real quick, if that's
Oh, yeah,
cool.
go for it.
Dark
Yeah,
Emperor
dude.
J, thank you for the $2 donation. I'm taking a page out of Pink's book where she compared the Go Rush characters to you guys, and I want to do it with the villains. Yugioh equals Pete. He got rival vibes. Phaser equals, I don't know, you could decide. And on that, as for Meister, hear me out. Ivrea becomes Meister. Yeah, I mean, sure. I don't think Ivrea's not doesn't have that evil side though. So I don't know.
It would be really cool if, just for a day, she decided to play a character like that.
That would be cool.
Who would it be
I
cool
feel like
for?
she could kill that.
I'd be scared for Dylan's
Yeah,
life
who
if
would it
she-
be?
Yeah, I would
Who would it be cool
Not
for?
Would I
Dylan.
root for you or
Who would it be cool for?
No, man.
For us outsiders, yeah. It'd be really cool for us outsiders.
Yeah, no. So
Who would
I
he root for?
Obviously, Bray.
no, I know that. I asked who would it be cool for?
Oh.
Because it would not be cool for me.
No, it would not be cool
How
for
do you know, bro? You might be.
It'd be cool for us. It'd be cool
Okay.
For us.
You
Yeah,
could just fake
right.
pledge allegiance to her.
Right. That's
Oh.
true.
I agree with that.
That'd go up.
But Dark Emperor, thank you so much. Pete Beans Yugioh, I can see that. That's a nice
Yeah, I can see
compliment.
that, yeah.
Brian, thank you for
Who's-
the.
Who's being Phaser, bro?
I don't know. I guess we have to decide. Phaser, I can see Calibur being Phaser.
It's because he's hot, right?
It's gotta be it, right?
he's hot.
I was thinking more of his dragon form when I compared him to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, come on,
I'm
bro.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Nixie loves that dragon form.
Oh, it's I every time I look at a screenshot from that episode, I'm like, wow, that's hilarious.
Brian
crack up.
Ford, thank you for the $2 donation.
you,
Really
Brian.
cool 2 episodes. Surprised Manabu won, but good for him. Glad to see Yugioh back. I didn't want him to stay gone. The Dark Meister is looking to be a good villain. Hopefully she can keep it up. Also, Contact Fusion. So happy to see it in Rush Duels. Yeah, I was definitely surprised at Manabu winning. But as I said in the opening, Brian, he is a really good duelist. He's one of the best duelists in the show. You can say what you want about his character, but he's always been written to be a very strong duelist. So, I picked him to beat Epoch. Calibur picked him to beat, I don't remember the guy's name, but yeah. Somebody.
Yeah.
Kamaru.
That checks out.
Yeah.
Why do you have a Pringle?
Share, bro. Sharing's caring.
Duck face, bro. Duck face.
I had the duck bill for the longest time. I was waiting for somebody to notice.
I didn't have the words, you know.
Doofenshmirtz. A little bit of
Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated.
Phineas and Ferb, right?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Thank you for the $2 donation. If I had a nickel for every time Yuumu was turned into a cat-like creature, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird it's happened twice. One of my favorite posting motifs there, the nickels. But
like
yeah,
that.
it's true. Yuumu has yeah. I mean it is strange, and it'll be interesting to see where she goes from here, for sure. Very interesting. Do we want to go back to some supers? Nick T?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was distracted by the Doofenshmirtz thing. Um, yeah, we have some more.
Okay.
We have 8 months of Raw Yellow membership from Tyler DeBoer.
Thank you,
you, Tyler.
Tyler.
My
Thank you,
theory,
Tyler.
Yuumu and Darkmeister have an Eddie Brock Venom symbiote deal going on. They're the same, yet two separate people.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that theory, Tyler. It's kind of what was said earlier in the stream by Shark Messiah, who pointed out that the we that was being said could refer to that. We know that the we is more
It's
from
not.
a royal. It is a royal we, so it's not like multiple people in one body or anything like that. But yeah, I like that theory, Tyler. Even with the we being a royal we, it still is somewhat possible
You
for
can
sure.
still make it work.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, what if it's like in theory you could have it be a royal darkness family that took over Yuumu, right? So it could still be her and also still be royalty in that sense.
Yeah. I mean, you could definitely do that. I think that could work for sure.
Yeah. You know when like people say the royal we, it's not like because of royalty. It's like just like a way to describe the word.
Nick T's giving us the facts.
No.
Yes.
No, I don't know that. You said, do you know? I
I'm
said
sorry.
no.
Okay, yeah.
I-
Yeah, no, like
I'm
if
just genuinely
Nixie
asking your
wanted
question.
to fight. He was just
I
like,
know.
no. like
No?
it's like,
Oh, yeah,
it's-
let me school you on my college education about what I know about the English
no,
language.
well, I didn't. It's just like the royal we. I don't know why it's royal, but it's like,
That's
oh,
what it sounds like.
how we doing? Like, it's like if I'm talking to one person, like, oh, how we doing? It's like, oh, we're doing all right. It's like
Yeah.
it's like kind of or like when I hypothetically say like the word you, like the royal you, but not you specifically.
I think a lot of people it's
Like
a
if
Venom
I'm if I'm talking about a thing, like say I actually don't have an example for that now, but like a general you instead of a you. The we works the same way. That's the royal part of it.
But
I
why
don't know why.
royal? Why wouldn't it just be
That
like
I
a
don't know.
general we or a general you?
I didn't pick it. You
It's like a
know,
British thing, isn't it?
It probably is.
No, Dylan's putting royalty
Why?
and
Don't
royal
listen to
as
Dylan
British
right now.
now.
There's no royalty in our country.
Many countries have had royalty in
Right.
history,
Right.
besides England.
Right.
But I was gonna say, I think a lot of people also are making the connection, not only because maybe they didn't read the translation note on the we thing with the Venom, but also I
agree,
think it's hard to not connect the kind of movement of the Dark Men and kind of their gooey like black substance. I mean,
It's
looks
hard to
exactly
ignore.
Like Venom.
Oh yeah.
So that's the idea. So
I very much agree.
Yeah. Cool. Honestly, if it's Venom, let's recreate Spider-Man 3, man, but in Go Rush. Let's
No.
get
Spider-Man 3,
No.
let's
No.
get all of
Please
them
walk
back.
down the street.
maybe Spider-Man 2, the video game.
Wait,
Better
I need someone to do a full animation of the scene where Peter Parker's walking down the street, like as like
with
the
Dylan's head on it.
no, but it's Yuhi.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Honestly, it would work really well. And you put him in the season 2 outfit.
Yeah, it
And
would
have
work.
and you change the girls out in the scene to girls in Go Rush, being like, oh, God, this is fucking nuts.
It would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Oh, jeez.
But
that's
thank you,
good.
Tyler.
Thank you, Tyler. I appreciate you.
We have a donation from ZX.
Thank you, ZX.
I really like that every single Darkman uses the same deck but different strategies. I wonder if Yugioh will use some Dark Matter cards in his deck.
It'd be cool if he uses Enigmata. I think there's a real chance. I also love, and ZX, thank you for the donation, that all of the lackeys use Enigmata, and yet, like, the queen, right, the leader, Darkmeister, gets to use the dragon, gets to use, like, the real ace. I thought that was
Agreed.
really cool, and I'm happy that they structured it like that because I feel like it does put like a wedge between her and all the other Dark Men. Obviously, that wedge would have been there regardless, but if they all used the same monster, it would have felt a little similar, and I don't think I would have liked it as much. I like that she's got her own, like, unique ace that maybe the other, like, Dark Men lackeys don't really have access to. I thought that was really a nice touch with the deck structure.
Yeah, I also just really like the dark matter
Oh,
dragon.
the Dark Matter
Oh, it's
Dragon.
awesome.
I thought that card was just sick.
And then it became like Emperor Dragon or something.
Yeah,
That was
dark
great.
matter emperor dragon.
Yeah. No, it's really
Both of
cool.
those were sick.
It's really cool. Thank you, ZX. Appreciate
Hell
it.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
One
What
more,
else
and
do we
then
have?
and then summaries. Do you have one more, Nick T?
I think I just have one more.
Okay.
Which is $20 from Colin Cleese.
Colin, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you.
While I don't buy Yugioh pledging his loyalty to the Darkmeister, especially after he pulled something like this with the Illusion Arc 3, what I do want to know is how will Yugioh take all of this when he finds out he's alive?
Emotional.
We could have
yeah.
a double reunion scene here, right? Yugioh and Yuhi at the same time could realize Yugioh is alive and Yuumu is with the Darkmen. It could happen at like a very similar time, if not like the same exact time, especially if Darkmeister and Yugioh are going to be working so closely. Like that would be pretty interesting. Now, those are two reunions that are powerful enough where they can definitely stand on their own for sure. But yeah, Yugioh, his reaction when he finds out Yugioh is alive will be very interesting, and it's very reminiscent of the start of the show, right? Where Yugioh was on Earth and thought Yugioh died in battle, and then all of a sudden, wait, what? Yugioh's still alive? They're basically doing that same exact trope over again, which is interesting.
Yep. He's died like 3 times.
It'll be interesting to see how it
Yes,
plays
yes.
out this time.
I would actually love if it was at the exact same time and it was a 2v2.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Oh God.
Play on the emotions.
Yes.
That would be cool. Yeah.
That'd be like an enormous reveal all at once.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it would be.
Sick.
I mean, it'll be exciting. I've got about 5 link donations here. I think super chats were caught up on. Do you want me to go through these links, or do you want me to do the summaries?
Well, we have actually like one more now. If you want me to read that, and then we move on,
Yeah, and then we do summaries.
and then we'll do summaries and then links.
Let me see. Yeah, because none of the links, let me see, are
None of them
about.
lead into.
Yeah, I don't think any of them
Yeah,
lead
cool,
in.
yeah,
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, sounds good.
Cool. So then we have a $5 1 cent Canadian donation from Pickrick.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Pick
Pick.
the Rick.
With a way to
Rick.
bring back the Valgarians, I'm sure there will be conflict whether Yugioh will want to resort to using his power or not.
Yeah, I mean, the Valgarians can be revived. The question is, is it through Dormammu? Is it through some other means? And, like, how ethical are those means? And how
Yes.
wide scale can they be? Because reviving one character is one thing. Reviving an entire race filled with millions and millions of citizens is a whole other thing. And
What's the cost?
what's the cost, right? What did it actually take to revive Yugioh? The theory I like a lot is the Dormammu theory. But, is that an infinite resource? If that's even the truth, we really don't know. Could be the curry bread as well, which is what you kind of spoke on, Pete. That could be an infinite source, but I think the big question on whether Yugioh will want to do it or not, Pickrick, is going to be what's the price, what's the morality of it, and how ethical is it? I think that'll be a big thing with it.
Can I say something about the curry bread that just popped into my head?
Yeah.
Say it.
Of course. I really do think that it has a significant importance, which is kind of funny considering the state, like the kind of show Go Rush is. Like, it would make sense that like something like curry bread would have a ridiculous power.
Yeah.
But when Yugioh was on Earth, even in like the space time,
Yeah.
right? What was he doing?
He was making curry bread.
He was making curry bread at the bakery.
Mhm.
And now they're looking for a curry bread recipe. I mean, come on.
He's got a point.
It can't not
That
be connected.
actually is a
It can't not
throwback.
be
I forgot he had
connected.
a whole curry bread bakery, man.
It can't. It makes too much sense. There's something in the curry bread.
There's something
I
in the
mean-
curry bread. Well said.
You know what's scary is I totally forgot about.
I'll
that.
hang up
That
and listen. All
actually
right.
makes sense.
Did you guys also think
Hang up
I
and
mean
listen.
maybe you talked about this, so I apologize because I was late. But did you guys talk about the idea that the 3 games on the partner planet a couple weeks ago? I was watching, I was binging today.
Yeah.
Were like kind of the offerings at the end of the tournament.
At the tournament.
What would you guys talk about in terms of the connection of like that? Would you think that?
I said that
Man.
it couldn't be a coincidence.
Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was very bizarre. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was kind of perplexed by that, and I'm also perplexed by the idea that we have not mentioned it again.
Yeah. Well, to me, in overtime thinking more about it, like initial reaction was just like, yeah, there's no coincidence. And I don't think it was a coincidence because like that tournament was all behind like the time space, right, is what kind of interrupted the celebrations and everything, and they get these trophies. The trophies are these 3 games. It just feels like Quaidul was like giving them a sending off, like you're gonna need this, so here you go. And that's what the trophies ended up being for the tournament. Like that's how I felt thinking back on it now, as opposed to like my initial reaction was like it can't be a coincidence. I almost feel like that's the connection, or at least that's the connection.
He left
I thought of.
breadcrumbs.
Yes, exactly. Curry breadcrumbs, actually, I think it was.
Yeah.
Son of a
Uh,
gun. I can actually see that. Now that you
Right?
say
Like it feels like it's almost like you're gonna need this, and he just kind of dropped the little hints.
I think he caused the fighting on partner in the first place. I think he's probably the one that introduced the games in the first place.
Well, before we get into the summaries, actually, we do have another theory kind of regarding what we're talking about. So even though it doesn't lead into the summaries, it is kind of what we're talking about with Yugioh and the Earth Damar.
Sure.
So, Aura, thank you for the 3 $2 donations, $6. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. My theory on it, the Darkmeister mentions that people who intrude on their territory suffer the harshest damage, and even Yugioh mentioned that he took real damage during their duel. In Go Rush, we know that's only possible with Earth Damar. We also know Earth Damar is what makes Valgyrians feel real, we also know Earth Damar is what makes Valgyrians real, and also what gave strength to Yugioh back when he was about to die. I believe that the entire dark matter territory, maybe even the people themselves, are covered in Earth Damar, and the abundance of Earth Damar in the dark matter territory is what brought Yugioh back since they stole his deck, if we assume his soul is in his deck from the looks of the end of episode 108. Yeah, I mean, we've theorized this whole season. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. We've theorized this whole season about what is the connection between the Darkmen and Dormammu, because Dormammu would always multiply and increase whenever the Darkmen were around and dueling. So we figured there had to be a correlation there. Does it go deeper with the Darkmen and the Earth Damar? Theorizing that the Earth Damar is maybe the entire dark matter territory is could be very real. Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yep, I actually really like that. It reminds me. I mean, there's similar things in like Marvel Comics, right? Like you have the regular space, and then the kind of flip side space is called the negative zone, right? You could have this space and the other flip side space of this alternate reality that we ripped a hole in could just be all made up of Earth Damar, right? Like that could be the main kind of abundant source over there, and that's where the Darkmen get their power, the way, and it actually makes a lot of sense now thinking about it after Aura said that, of like they're kind of fluid like the substance, the way they move, it's very unusual. Like, yeah, I think that could totally work. I would actually love that.
Yeah, just showing a quick clip of Yugioh waking up at the start of 109. Yeah, I mean the color scheming could certainly be there with it if you want to look deep into it. Yeah, it's interesting. I like though that with Aura's theory, with Pink's theory, both theories have to do with the Earth Damar.
And then you bring in Yugioh as the first person that they were aware of in this universe who was experimenting and messing around, and also had Earth Damar, like he did the experiment and went into his monster itself. So then it makes him a more interesting connection there, and that's why he was targeted first. I mean, that could work.
That works, yeah.
Yeah, no, certainly, yeah.
It all kind of ties in with the connection of Earth Damar.
Yeah, well, that's the big key, right? The Earth Damar for sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, to everybody who super chatted and donated, Thank you so much. I've got let me get Yugioh off here. I've got the summaries and titles for 111 and 112. We only know the summary for the very, very next episode. Caliber, would you like to, or Pete, would you like to read it? Caliber and Judge are probably watching the game. Pete, would you like to read it?
Wow, that was
Sure. Episode 110. Sorry, Cal. It is my turn. Yugioh and Co. discuss the mystery surrounding Dormammu, whose clones keep appearing and disappearing. However, the Sabers then shows up to the Velvagear again, seeking the curry bread the Dark Meister desires. They begin a duel, and the one who will face off against him is Epoch, the captain of the Velvagear.
Okay, so let me start by saying I had not read this summary. So
I told you they want that curry bread.
Yes,
you heard it.
Yes, me saying that I felt it was a throwaway line. I am completely revoking that statement. I was incorrect. Clearly, the curry bread is going to be important. Yeah, I hadn't read the summary. Sabuus versus Epoch, right? We got to pick this duel too, which is interesting.
We'll pick it now.
Yeah, we can pick it now. I just wrote it in the chat. I want to see where people rank the episode.
Where do you rank it?
Wow. That's
Jeez.
solid, dude.
Yeah.
And 1% for the milk.
I like
yeah.
that.
We're getting a little bit more lean.
Yeah.
Well, just to give you, I mean, those ratings are definitely reminding me of what the ratings looked like last season. It's going back to 107. You know, it was good with 39, great with 31. Then good with 47, decent with 23, great with 22. Episode 105 was great with 44, good with 40. That is the first time this season greats at 26. That greats at 13%. Yeah, that is the first time this season that great broke 45%. And it was 74%. Now, there have been a lot where you combine great and good, and it's very good. Also, great and good night. Yeah, that is. Yeah, it was a fantastic episode. I mean, it was just a very very good episode.
An episode that didn't feature the main crew.
No, and that. Yeah,
that is a concern I have though. Is Yugioh so captivating, which isn't necessarily a
so
bad
was the Dark
thing.
Meister.
Agreed, and that's a good thing. But I worry. You know, because again, Yugioh's I assume going to be around now for a bit. I don't think it's going to be like a hot 1-2 episodes he's out. I do get concerned that Yugioh overshadows our main cast, so we do need a better showing from our Yugioh, our Epoch. We don't have a Yuumu. We need a better showing from those characters, better episodes from them moving forward.
Well, I think the ability that Yugioh also has is if he duels Yugioh, if he duels Yuumu, Yuhi, whatever, I think he's able to elevate those characters as well. So I think that is the power of Yugioh and of a really good rival character. So I think that him just being around, even if he's maybe overshadowing the crew, if he's dueling Yugioh, it's must watch. It's a must watch episode. And I did say, I remember we did buy, sell, hold. I think I was the only one who bought that Yugioh and Yugioh would duel again. I felt like they were definitely going to duel again in season 3. And we might get that duel this arc. It's possible they duel in the next few episodes, which is really, really exciting.
You know what's crazy about that too is that if before this season started, you said to me, "Hey Cal, would you like it if Yugioh and Yugioh dueled in the first arc?" I would be like, "Hell no." Why would they duel so quickly? What's the reason for it? And now I'm like, yeah, bring it.
Bring it, right? Yeah.
Do it.
I'm so down. It's just I never would have thought they'd be able to kind of get him back in so seamlessly and also not make it feel like just some cop out.
Yeah, for sure.
I think they did a really good job at bringing him back into the mix.
I agree with you.
I wouldn't mind seeing it.
Fully agree. We got to make the pick here. This is not an easy duel to pick.
No, it is not.
It's extreme.
Holy shit! I'm just realizing.
This is the most confident I have been.
Are you serious?
Can you tell me who you're picking so I can pick the other way?
No.
Oh, okay.
My pick's not going to be right, so I'm not worried about it. I feel pretty good that I won't be right.
I don't like this.
No, I don't either.
Do not at all.
We got to make our picks, boys.
Gotta do it. I'm ready.
Tell me when. Do a countdown. I'm waiting for a countdown.
3, 2, 1, send.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean that's honestly how I figured it would split.
We're totally split. Yeah. Does anybody? Well, Caliber, you said you're very confident, so you can go ahead.
He got you, dude. He got you.
Damn it.
You got him. You got him.
I'm picking Sabuus. I think this is a time for the group to be put in a little bit more danger, start ramp up for the end of the arc. I also think that Epoch has shown a lot of strong leadership and has been being pushed up and up and up, and I think she's going to take a little bit of a hit here and kind of learn that a good leader needs to also rely on their crew. In some way, that's how it's going to play out in terms of like the moral of her losing and then the crew lifting her back up. I really think that this is where the group's going to start to seem more serious, and I think that Sabuus is also kind of, it seems maybe at the end of the episode or even at in the preview that he's kind of jealous of Yugioh kind of just getting this direct contact with the Dark Meister, like, because you see them in the preview also, I think, kind of like sitting together, almost looking like they're having a chat, and he's peering around the wall. So I think there's a little more to it, and I think that he's going to go after this bread to kind of try to earn a title above Yugioh within the Dark Matter Empire, and I think that could create another feud even between the two of them where, you know, a little bit of infighting helps your hero team come in and kind of take over.
Well said.
When do you start working for Bridge, dude?
He's got it, dude.
Hey, man, I'm just saying.
I like that a lot.
Who would like to go next?
I think you should go next, bro.
All right. I picked Epoch. Tough when both characters already have a loss this arc. It's very tough, but I think Epoch is going to get the win here because 111 is Darkman Yugioh. I think that's when Yugioh is going to make his move, and I think Yugioh is going to get a win in 111. I don't foresee this group getting 3 wins in a row, so I am using a little bit of future prediction, even though 111 might not even be a duel, like, you know, that it's risky to base it off of that, but that's just where I think we're headed. I think Epoch, she's had a lot of really, really great development. Lost to Manabu, which is fine. Manabu's a good duelist. But I think,
right.
Yeah, she hasn't won, but I don't know. I could see Sabuus winning because, again, you want to give a little more legitimacy to the underlings of this group, but at the same time, they are the underlings. And if the Darkmeister and Yugioh and Kat Uemu are going to be your heavy hitters, then these underlings can lose as many times as possible. And I can also see a reality where, while Sabuus is dueling for the curry bread, everyone's distracted, and one of the other Darkmen cronies sneaks around, grabs the bread, and brings it back, and they still succeed with Epoch getting the win. But this is not an easy. I don't feel good about it. I don't feel confident about it. Chat right now, it's 51-42-7. I mean, clearly, chat is not confident on it either way either. This is a coin flip, but I'm picking Epoch.
Doe, it looks like me and you are getting to the same result in terms of the aftermath of the duel, just not the result.
Yeah, the plot moves forward the same way.
The plot's moving the same way.
Yep.
We're in 2 different cars.
Yeah, and I think Epoch just needs the win more than Sabuus, and I think the group can take another loss here because it's Sabuus, who's not really a threatening duelist. You still have the Darkmeister. You still have Darkman Yugioh, who's coming in 111. So I think the crew gets a win here.
Oh, yeah.
Seems fair. I'll go. I went with who did I go with again? I remember
Sabuus.
Yeah, I mean they both lost. I think to build momentum, I actually like the Darkman winning 3 in a row. I think that's the moment. I think we're going to really, even though Epoch has lost, and I understand both characters have lost, and it probably hurts Epoch more to lose here, but I think that's also why I like it more. I think if we want to really just for the Darkmen, getting 1 win, again, and you could argue it wasn't a win against our group, was it?
It was not, no.
It was not.
No.
So they still are 0-4 against our group. I think this is now, and Dylan, you had said this, that they were joking, they were fake dueling, they were getting information. Here's your time to shine, buddy. Now they're going to start dueling, and they're really going to show that they're very good, and they're going to win. I'll even say now I'm taking Yugioh next week no matter what. I will say that the Dark Men are going to win these, technically 3 in a row, these next 2 duels.
Wow.
Okay.
Solidify them as a villain group. I know it's first arc. I may be thinking too highly of them. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm not. But I'd love to see the Dark Men get some momentum here. Again, it's not a duel against Udius. It's not a duel against Yuhi. Epoch can take a loss as much as she's done great with her character development. She's not a Udius Yuhi. She doesn't need to win, in my opinion. So.
I guess I'll go next. I also went Sabuyas. A lot less confident about it, but I will say my reasoning definitely coincides with Calibro and Dredgers. I think Epoch can afford the loss despite her growth as a character, and I think we need to make our opponents seem formidable, and 3 in a row would be the way to do that. However, I did, with a lapse in judgment, did forget that Epoch did lose her last duel. In my mind, I was like, oh, she already won, so she's going to lose. That was not the case. And I guess even with that logic, that wasn't, I don't know. Either way, I'm not supremely confident, but I'm going with our Dark Matter Empire right here.
Yeah, and Pete?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, when Epoch. I deal to add kind of your reasons and kind of support and echo some of the same statements. I don't see the Dark Group getting 3 in a row because I was looking at the title for the next episode as well. I don't even see them getting 2 in a row. Never mind what happens with Yugioh, even if there's a non-duel episode there. I think there's no one threatening with them right now besides Darkmeister. I don't subscribe to the theory that they have been faking anything. I think they've gotten beaten. Epoch does not have a win in this entire show. This has been a kind of coming out party arc for her. She already lost in this arc. And I feel like to make her and prove the point of her being a leader, being the captain of the ship, this is monumental for her character. God knows when she'll get another duel with Yugioh back and maybe all the Valgyrians coming back soon or all that stuff. So I think this is important for her character, and I agree with you, Dylan. The final statement you said that I think the Darkmen are still going to accomplish their task. I think they're gonna. Yeah. We've seen that a million times in the Bridge era, in the Go Rush era. I still think they'll figure out a way to steal the bread, but they'll lose the duel. So I went with Epoch.
Yeah. So the 2 on the left went with Epoch. The 3 on the right went with Sabuyas. Also, just to clarify about the faking thing, because I know, Dredge, you had mentioned that I said that they were faking their dueling. I said Bruyere was over the top with his mommy comments, and he was faking that aspect of his character. And I've said in the past that Otis was faking his dueling to get to the final duel. But these characters, from a dueling perspective, I don't think that they're faking. I think that they did lose.
I feel like if I go back and check the tape, Dill, I'm gonna find exactly.
If you find it, or if anyone in chat finds it, I'll eat my words on that. But I don't think I ever said that they were faking their dueling.
Pretty sure, but I could be misremembering.
You think what is his name? Bruyere?
Bruyere.
The mommy one.
You think he was? I mean, he's definitely over the top, but I don't think he was even faking the mommy stuff. I mean, when he wasn't with our crew and he was in the castle,
he shut up about it
to his own people. Yep. He nonstop kept saying it.
Yeah. So with that new information, I would agree with you. Yes. When I said that, it was we had just seen him as a standalone character, and I thought he was doing it to manipulate Neanderstar more. And get Neanderstar in a bad headspace, which worked, by the way. It was very successful. But yes, the fact that he did it around the other Darkmen, I think he's just a weird dude. Yeah.
He actually had her, and then he screwed it up by saying that he had 10 moms.
Yeah.
He just kept his mouth shut. He probably would have beat her off of sympathy.
Yep.
He would have, definitely.
I did think he was playing up that part of his character, but with this now, I don't think he was.
He changed a lot of his card names to not the proper name.
It's so super annoying.
Yeah, he's the one of the 4 that I really was not a fan of.
No, not at all.
Yeah, really not. I was kind of indifferent on the 4th one. Zayat I liked, the cheerleader. Sabuus was okay, but he was the only one that I did not like. Yeah, of the four.
Yeah, actively did not like.
Did not like. That's why I think when I said, oh, you know what, maybe he's just playing it up. I genuinely did believe it because I felt like it worked on Neanderstar, but I was also hoping that was the case because it would have been cool. But he's a weird guy. And
he's a very weird guy.
Very weird guy. And it is what it is. You know, what are you going to do?
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, it's okay. I think, do we have a couple more? I don't have any more link donations. We have a couple more super chats, maybe?
I think so.
I see 2.
I see 2 as well.
Cool.
We have 5 Australian from Bletcher Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Kevin.
Who do y'all think would win in a duel between Akiza Azinski and Spectre?
I think Dredge is the only one that can answer besides me, who's seen it in full.
Aki versus Spectre?
Yeah.
Aki Spectre.
Who do you think?
Are we saying Aki when she had her powers?
Sure.
Aki with her powers can beat Spectre. Aki without her powers gets run over by Spectre.
I think even with her powers, I think Spectre beats her.
That's fair.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, Spectre is just as sadistic as when Aki kind of was lost, and so I can totally see Spectre.
I like when she did that stuff, though. That was fun.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Spectre is I think a very good duelist, and Aki, while I love her, my favorite Studio Gallop girl character, one of my favorite girls just in general in Yu-Gi-Oh. I think deck-wise and dueling ability-wise, I think Spectre beats her.
Until after, not to put you on the spot.
No, you're
but I'm
fine.
gonna
You're
put
fine.
you on the spot. After season 1, just refresh my memory. Spectre, did he only duel Lightning, or he had other duels in season 2? I'm just blanking on what they are.
He only dueled Lightning, and that duel was crazy. Remember, he extra linked in that duel. Yeah,
they filled the field.
Amazing.
And then he, and then he dueled I off screen and lost in season 3. Yeah.
And then he didn't speak until the last line of the show.
And even his voice actor, even his voice actor over in Japan came out and made a video talking about a bunch of different things. It was a Q&A video, and he was like, yeah, I'm not sure. I loved playing him. I'm not sure why they didn't, use him more, or said something along those lines.
There was so many characters they could have cut out of season 2, and he could have had more screen time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He was great. He's
apart.
coming in Duel Links, so that's very exciting.
That's good.
So I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited to see him, because I really have been craving more Spectre content since his loss against Lightning. I don't think he said a word until the final episode. The last 40 episodes, he didn't talk. Yeah, it was terrible. He was a lost incident kid too. That was terrible.
They really did a bad job with that.
They did a horrible job. He was one of their I thought better, more intriguing characters. Thought he could have been a perfect character for Aoi to go over in the final season and beat, and they just didn't do anything with it. Terrible.
Yep. Yeah, they definitely, in my opinion, they dropped the ball on that.
Yeah. Horrible.
A little bit.
Horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
More than a little bit.
Yeah.
Or even all of season 2. I mean, you got to give them more to do. That's cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, we saw duels against Bit and Boot.
Yeah,
Come on.
Bit and Boot. Or Cal's favorite character, Blood Shepherd over there. You could have cut him 90% of his duels. You could have cut out of the show.
He didn't even need to be in this show.
Don't worry, Cal. If it makes you feel better, his decks will come to the game before Lightnings or Windies.
Or Lightning.
I don't know if Lightning's ever coming.
Lightning is getting punished for cheating. That's why.
Lightning's deck is going to come in 2030.
Created a fake life point to win a duel.
He didn't cheat.
All right. Well, you're gonna knock him for his ingenuity. I mean, all right.
Yeah, I mean, he was just thinking outside the box.
Literally,
he was thinking outside the rules. Nick
That's the kind of thing that gets you promoted in a job.
I've never watched anything where the villain follows the rules.
Yeah, that's true too.
No, it's kind of par for the course.
Caliber's mad the villain didn't follow the rules.
I am. I'm a moral villain,
Jeez. Pig Penguin.
I have my code of honor.
Thank you for the $2 donation, Pink. Appreciate it. Hello, Dylan and crew. Great last 2 episodes. 108 had fun animation and a great Manabu win, which I appreciated. 109 was great because of the plot development. Yuumu for sure is involved due to the similarities between her deck and the Dark Meister. She is. She's definitely involved. I do love how you said for sure is involved, because to what capacity and to what extent, we have no idea.
Don't
We have no idea. So she's involved. I'm excited to see what's next for her, for sure.
Agreed.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. Is right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pink. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you, Pink.
We have $10 from J.R. Glenn.
Thank you, JR. Appreciate you, man.
Do you think Yumu will take her human form this arc, or will she be stuck in the cat form? If, in fact, that is Yumu and she can switch between animal and human form.
Well, JR, first of all, thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. I will say all the other dark men can switch between their animal and human form. You know, the question is, JR, is Dark Meister Yuumu's current human form? Because Nick T believes that. There's a lot of people that believe that. So we might see her human form and animal form simultaneously. That is possible. I believe she will take her human form this arc. I do believe that, yes. Because I believe that this is all going to get concluded by the end of the arc. There's nothing that's led me, even though I'd love for this to go multiple arcs, there's nothing that's led me to believe with this show that it's going to bleed into multiple arcs. And
It's rare.
It's very rare, and I don't believe it until it happens. So I do believe that by episode it'd be like 113 or 114 will be all wrapped up.
I think I agree.
Yeah. But we'll see, JR. It'll be really really interesting. I think we will see her human form, though. I do genuinely believe that.
Dude, if Nick T is right, dude, and she takes off that mask and it's her, I'm a freak out, dude.
Yeah,
I would
be great.
freak out. Even if I'm like, oh, I called it, I would bug out.
Yeah, it'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, no matter the outcome, even if I'm wrong, I'm expecting to be excited.
Well, keep in mind, we don't always get the mask reveal. We did not get it with Otis. We did not get it with the creator.
You'll get it here.
I think we'll get it here.
You'll get it.
Yeah.
You might.
Obviously someone's on to something, so it's like I think the reveal is almost necessary.
Be starting something.
Well, you could say the same thing about Otis, Nick T, but yeah, I do believe we will get the reveal.
No one speculated as to who Otis was.
No, future Yugioh. That was the big theory.
No. I mean in show.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yep. Okay.
Dill, the only difference
the
only difference I would argue is the Otis creator thing. I actually think it works sometimes better that he is masked up, right? Because it's like an entity, it's a presence, right?
Yeah.
And a thing that shows struggle with a lot of times when they do these mask reveals is the villain just doesn't become as intimidating anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The mask really provides a lot of that. I actually like it with him and that kind of godlike presence that he has. With the Dark Meister and the deep Yumu connection here, you got to reveal that.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I agree with you fully when it comes to the creator, Pete. I still think with Otis they could have done it, and they missed an opportunity there. But the creator,
I guess you could argue they're sort of one in the same, right? One's the Earth,
potentially
the more of a character, right? So
yeah.
Potentially.
There's a chance.
Nobody cared until you put on the mask.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yep.
There you go.
It's true.
It's more intimidating.
For now, we just speculate until it happens.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the last dono is another $5 from Electric Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
Here's a
Thanks,
bonus. Since there wasn't one last week, who do y'all think would win in a duel between Goha Yuga and Quaidul Velgear?
Thank you for. We can actually all answer that one. Quaidul.
It's got to be.
Come on.
It's got to be.
He'd be whipping that boy up and down.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the biggest letdowns of Sevens.
He made my top 10 disappointments. Yeah.
I really loved that character when he was first introduced.
Oh, when he was first introduced, I was like, this guy's sick. And then I was like, oh.
I felt the whole show changed, and then they, 3 episodes later, just really did him dirty because they had limited time to finish the end.
Yep.
It's all about Swirly, guys.
It kind of was all about Swirly.
Even though I think Quaidul is the better character, I try not to let that get in the way of my decision when it comes to these hypothetical duels. But I think even removing the character element from it, Quaidul has proven to be stronger. Yeah, he beat Yugioh.
He's a god.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so Quaidul, I think, would take it. I think we're all in agreement
agree.
there. Yeah.
I think so too. Yeah.
Agreed.
Cool. Yeah.
And as
Kevin,
it
thank
stands
you.
Now, yeah, it stands now. That's it.
And Mommy Manabu, thank you for the $2 donation. Hell yeah, I won Vice Captain Manabu, best mommy for real, for real. Yeah. For sure. And Angie, thank you for being a member for 22 months. Appreciate you, Angie. You think unanswered question answered in Go Rush?
Like any unanswered questions will be answered by the end of the show, you mean?
Unanswered question. Oh, she made a typo. Do you think any unanswered question in Sevens will be answered in Go Rush? I do believe we are going to get more context on Otis.
Yes.
I do.
Yeah.
You gotta hope.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Gotta hope.
Until Dredge, you gotta watch Yu-Gi-Oh! 9 to find out.
I also
Jesus
think
Christ.
one of the biggest unanswered questions of Sevens for me was what happened. Who was the character that returned to Sevens World? I think that one could very well get answered as well. I do not believe Yuga's story is done in Go Rush. I don't.
Nope.
No, I don't think so. Not the way.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so good question, Angie. Pink Penguin, thank you for being a channel member for 19 months. 19 months of Slife for Slacker, still better than Dill. Well, I'm actually in Raw Yellow, so you're right below me, Pink. But thank you.
By whose standards are you rocking?
No, where you put yourself in yellow, you're in red.
No, actually, on my last Master Duel stream, a lot of people in chat said, you know what, with this performance, you've graduated.
I want to see the results of them saying that.
All right, I'll pull some screenshots.
I want to see the receipts. I'll be there next Master Duel stream. I want to see the receipts.
All right, tomorrow, man.
Yeah.
Rovian Space Poem Fan 420, thank you so much for the $2 donation. This arc sucks. Where is Best Girl Rovian? I don't care about the cardboard box girl or red cheerleader dark girl or Uemu being MIA or some green guy's mom. I just want our Space Poem Queen. Well, Rovian Space Poem Fan, only you and you alone feel that way.
No, me.
Oh, and I'm sorry. You and Pete both feel that way.
And Nick T.
Okay, well now, all right, okay.
It's not me. That's all.
She became a lot better.
I agree. I agree. Rovian definitely became a lot better.
She's
but
in the outro.
She is in the outro. No, she is. I mean, we'll see. Nicholas, thank you for being a channel member for 46 months. Appreciate you so much. Hope are okay after those storms, and X-Men 97 was good. Yeah, I've heard X-Men 97 got like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Pete, have you seen that?
Wow.
No, that is something I plan on watching in the next month or so. Maybe stay tuned to Coolest Gamer for some content.
So it was the
Let's
highest fan-rated Marvel project in general ever so far, which is saying a lot. There's been some good Marvel projects. So, yeah, very exciting. Nicholas, thank you for the 46 months, man. Really appreciate it. And guys, I want to thank all of you for joining us for episodes 108 and 109. Crazy 8s. It's been an absolute blast. Thank you to Pete, Nick T, Cal, and Dredge for taking time out of their busy lives to join me. I'm going to let them all promote any content that's going on. We'll start with Dredge. We'll go up the screen to Nick T, and then we'll shoot over to Pete. Please follow all of them. All of their links are down below. Thank you guys so much. Dredge, we'll start it with you, my man.
Twitch.tv/DredgeNator. We do a lot of Pokemon content.
Yeah.
We're back on a Pokemon Platinum Nuzlocke where we are unfortunately on run 17. We lost a couple runs the last time I was out, but we're continuing this Friday, so if you want to hop on that, love to see you guys there.
I'll be there.
I'll be there.
I'll try.
Yay. Yeah. I have no high hopes, Nick T. No offense.
Yeah, dude. No, none taken. I'm a busy guy.
You're a popular guy.
You know what? I'm being pulled in a million different directions. I guess I'll go next. So even though I haven't been on Twitch in a while, you never know. Go follow me on twitch.tv/NickFightsMoms, and maybe I'll appear. I don't know. I've been getting the itch again, you know.
Ooh,
I don't know if it's gonna happen or not, but check it out. In the meantime, I do a lot of music stuff. Nameling, Fragile Homes, and Mom Fight are all on all streaming platforms. Actually, right now, Mom Fight is down, but it will be back up soon. So in the meantime, Nameling and Fragile Homes on all streaming platforms and social media platforms. I make all that stuff. Nameling should have the record out sometime soonish. Fragile Homes has a live session coming out. We're actually what I've been promoting the past couple of weeks is happening. We sold out of all the records, so that's exciting.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So I'm really excited about that. So, unfortunately, what's the top of that link in the link tree, you cannot purchase the record anymore. But just go stream all the songs. They're great songs. We're working on a record. that'll be my first record with the guys. So
Very nice.
follow us
Any,
on all social media.
Any music videos in the future?
Maybe. I mean, Nick, who is in the band, has done the only Nameling music video, so I'm sure a Fragile Homes or Nameling video is in the near future.
Let's go.
Be on the lookout.
Cool, man.
If you need any quality actors, just let me know.
I'll let you know, bro.
He's got a face for show business, this guy.
That's true. Factual.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah,
all
not
I'm gonna
promoting.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, YouTube Clueless Gamers over there. Gonna be a lot more content over there in the summer. I don't want to say anything specific right now because I still have to outline that stuff. It's been a very busy month. It's gonna continue being a very busy month. But yeah, school's over. It's done, and hopefully getting back to some YouTube. So stay tuned for that. And Twitter, PivaCaro21.
Awesome
Hold
stuff.
on, I do want to say one thing. Shadow Realm Z said a very good point. 'Cause you guys said I had a face for television and movies.
No, I'm deleting that. I'm deleting
Shadow
that.
Realm Z said, I mean, wasn't Cal an amazing Spider-Man? And I just want to say yes. You know, me and Andrew Garfield are one and the same. So.
Nah.
I actually I thought what you were going to do was say this. I want to congratulate Pete for graduating. Very, very awesome, man.
Pete.
Congratulations. Very exciting.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
congrats,
Appreciate
dude.
it,
Really well done.
Thank you so
And
much. I appreciate it.
yeah, Clueless Gamers, Pete, Nick T. Nameling, Dredge, Dredgenator, Twitch.tv, Cal, Dredge, Nick T. Pete, thank you guys so much. Thank you all so much for watching. Final one, Rovian Space Poem Fan 420, thank you for the $2 donation. Yeah, the ending is the best part of each episode. I haven't even kept up with the show because of it, except through these podcasts. The only Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush podcast in the world. That's right, Rovian Space Poem Fan, and we are signing off. Thank you all so much. This has been episodes 108 and 109, Contacting an Old Friend. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day.
Amazing day.
Take care, guys. Good night.
Good night,
y'all. Bye-bye.
Good night.